Hey!
Hey! The music's still playing.
Yeah, that was a little loud. What is up, everybody? It's early in the morning for me. I'm not quite on my game, but it's Colin, and I'm joined by
Jamie!
Hey, everybody, and we are both co-hosts of Two Sides of the Pitch Pod. Very nice to have you guys here. And might as well just start off with the business end of things. Today's show is brought to you by our normal sponsors. Alloy Collectors, uk.alloycollectors.com, as you see above me. When you use the code Two Sides, you can get 15% off of these wonderful, wonderful metal collectible jerseys. We've got some here for your viewing pleasure. If this seems like something you would be interested in, or somebody you know would be interested in, they make a great gift, look good on a desk, look good on a shelf. Definitely make sure that you visit, the website above, uk.alloycollectors.com, using the code Two Sides, our special promo code, to get 15% off. And they're great. They're great. I'm getting a box of them come Saturday, actually maybe even tomorrow. I'm excited to have them. So So with that out of the way, hey, there was a football game last night, right?
Yeah, there was. It was so entertaining. We got so much to talk about.
Oh yeah, the whole match from front to back, it was just action.
The best performance I've seen in a long time.
I don't know if I've ever seen a better performance. No, but we came away with the points at the end of the day. Yeah. Slightly controversially, and we'll have a lot to talk about, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. As always, of course, we're your hosts, Colin and Jamie. I always forget to put that up at the right time. But we've got some wonderful people in the chat that I think we'd be remiss not to say hello to. Graham, Spurs GCTV is here. What's up, bud? Hope you're good. We've also got Quez Ali saying good morning. I never doubted the boys. Laughing face. Me neither.
Does he mean he's never doubted us?
Oh, it makes my heart feel nice. Yeah, thanks, buddy. and then we've got AJ, ever present AJ, the boy who never sleeps. AJ, good to have you here, bud. Always good to have you here, man. Whether you're on the show, whether you're in the chat, it's very nice to have you with us, my friend.
Definitely.
And so I guess we'll just jump right into it, man. When the lineup came out yesterday, let me make a banner for this. What were your thoughts when the lineup came out yesterday?
Yeah, I think we all discussed on the previous episode that we did. We was expecting a couple of changes, maybe like 2, 3. I wasn't expecting so many, and that kind of disrupted the whole performance. Everyone looked lost, and a lot of players got stick, which is obviously fairly right. They should have. But I don't like the hate that I saw on X yesterday. Like Solanke, 65 million. He had no service. He literally had to come back and get the ball himself to actually have a goal. So it just annoys me when everyone keeps saying Harry Kane's replacement. He's not Harry Kane's replacement. He's just another striker we brought in. Harry's gone now. Move on.
Yeah.
Slanky's here. Completely different striker. And we've got lots to talk about anyway, but I'm really happy for Brennan.
Of course. We'll definitely we're gonna hit that hard. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I'm really glad he got to go.
Me too. But the lineup came out, Forster in goal. What'd you think about that? What'd you think about Forster? And I'm actually gonna get the lineup pulled up if I can do that.
I think didn't we say if he's in goal, it's going to be really difficult. But to be fair, he didn't have that bad of a game. He came out and collected the balls quite well. The only thing that scared me, every time he grabbed the ball, he'll drop it, and then
we don't have a single keeper that looks comfortable taking the ball out of the air. I haven't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think next in January, not in January, probably be the next one now. We need to invest in the keeper.
Absolutely. At least, because Vicario's a good keeper. We all know that. We love Vicario. Last season, especially, he was something else. But something within the season doesn't seem to be clicking. He's not looking quite commanding enough in his box, and his shot stopping, which was his biggest attribute, I think, has dropped. But I fully expected him to start last night, just because keepers need consistency. They don't need to be rested as much as other players do.
Yeah,
How often does a keeper get a muscle injury? I mean, I know it happens, and if it's going to happen to anybody, it's going to be Spurs. But
I was gonna say
still,
I'm a goalkeeper and I've hurt my back from just bending down, so I haven't played for like 4 or 5 weeks, and it's tough.
true. All right. Well, there you go. You have to go and
But to be fair, go back to the question. I thought Brandon Austin would have probably played.
Yeah.
I didn't expect, because when Forster came out, I was thinking it's like Dad's Army. It's like so old. I was just like, it just doesn't look comfortable.
No, and we all know about I guess it was kind of his redemption time, a chance for him to redeem himself after the Fulham match. But God, whenever I thought for sure that it was going into penalties, and I thought for sure we were going to have a repeat of what we saw at Fulham.
Yeah, well, I think as I said to you, I had to move my phone away because I was getting notifications, and then I didn't realize Djed Spence was scored because I heard my phone go like a vibrate. I was thinking, oh no, it's substitution or they've scored, and then Djed scored. I was like, okay, but then I was thinking I can't go to penalties because just take the win if it's going to go to penalties because it's not going to happen.
We know Forster's just going to fall over again after each of them.
Exactly, but a win's a win. We're through. That's the main thing. The draw's next week. Like David said, hi David.
David, what's up, Robbo? Good to have you here, man. He said, tough watch for you fans, but the win is the most important thing. Yeah, and that's the thing. Robbo should understand as a an avid Man United fan, they were kind of the kings of winning ugly. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It's all that matters is the result at the end. Like Robbo says here, and Sir Alex Ferguson knew how to win ugly, and he was praised for it. And so I think the fact that the boys were able to dig deep, get the win, I think it's something to be proud of. And of course, people will say it's only Coventry. It's only Coventry, Jamie. But still, we made 8 changes. Is that right? Is that what I'm seeing here? Quite a few. From the.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting Jackson and Davis. I thought we'd have one of Romero or Van de Ven. When I saw those two, I was thinking, it doesn't look good. And
right.
Davis, I think Davis was the better out of centre backs. Draghi looks a bit uncomfortable. But I think my worst player on the pitch, the 2 worst players I saw on the pitch yesterday, Saar just looked lost. I don't know.
He runs around a lot. But
he looks like, when you hit a fly with a squatter and just like spins. That's what he looked like. And then Timo Werner, he had chances to cut in Udogie all the time. And then he just can't try and cut through the other way, and then he'd lose it. And then the stupid thing annoyed me. He went from the left on the second half, came all the way into the centre, and then gets fouled, but it's not a foul. And then they went on the counter. Like, I try and give him enough support. I can't see him in a Spurs shirt. He just irritated me, especially because I really like that kit and I don't want to see him in it anymore. So that's just me today.
I was one of his biggest supporters last season. I thought, hey, this guy scored so many goals in the Bundesliga. You don't just lose it, but he seems to have lost it. I don't know if it's confidence, if it's just ability. I don't think there's enough difference in goalkeepers between the Bundesliga and the Premier League. That's what the problem is. And obviously, we weren't even playing a Premier League side yesterday. Something's happened to him. So I don't know. What do you guys in the chat? What do you guys in the chat think that what happened to Timo? What happened to that player that we used to have? I still don't know. Or he definitely isn't the player he used to be, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
No, definitely. I think if they renew his loan for next season or buy him, I'd be really surprised.
No way we will. Absolutely no. He's gone after this season.
He's got to be gone off. Like, I hate trashing players. I know I do it so often, but yesterday I think he deserved to have a shout out.
Yeah, we got Ryan G in the house. Sad night for Ryan last night. Wolves could not quite pull it off, but I thought they would. They were coming back. You guys did a good job to claw your way back, but
Brighton's not an easy fixture now. Like they've been good for it and under-deserve it, and the new manager's got them playing really well.
And how many changes did Wolves make last night, Ryan? Let us know, because I don't know enough about y'all's squad to know who is usually there and who's not. We've also got Edward Y in the house of Oz. What's up, Edward? He says Coventry caught Spursiness last night. And yeah, they did, man. They threw it away right at the end. Where have we seen that? And Robbo was saying, main thing, Robbo, exactly. Main thing's getting the win and going through. Hopefully, we'll find out who we get in the draw. When's the draw, Jamie?
The 25th is a Wednesday, I believe it is.
Watch us get City or something like that, man. That would just be our luck.
I don't know if I can watch it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. It's going to be nervy for sure. And I'm not sure how they pick those. Is that
Well, it's
so
like a weird format they do now. Like it's the Southern versus whatever it is. I've never. They said we only started that doing it last year, so
weird.
I don't know. And plus, they changed it where I think like the top 6 can't really play each other. Whoever's in Europe, which obviously benefits us, but it's not fair on everyone else. But
I don't care if it's fair for everyone else. I want to win a trophy. God dang it.
Yeah, I just want to win something, mate.
Come on, I know we need it. Even this Carabao Cup trophy would be awesome for me. You know that the same people that give Spurs shit for not having won any trophies would be the same. They'd be like, oh, it's just a Carabao Cup, but it's something to put in the cabinet.
Well, exactly. Like we need to might as well use that trophy cabinet, get all the dust out to put something in.
Yeah, exactly. We just need something to put in there. Ryan said that their first half performance cost them. They were awful, and most of the team, I think João Gomez was the only one who started from the weekend. Oh, yikes. Okay. I know that. Wow, I'm kind of surprised you guys didn't prioritize the cup a little more, but we did the same thing. We made a lot of changes as well.
Yeah. He can't do it again for the next round, though. If he does it again, so much shit.
Yeah. We'll talk about, you guys saw the thumbnail. We're going to talk about it. Did Brennan and Djed save Ange? I mean, would Ange have been in a lot of trouble had we lost that match? I think, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no. When I saw Daniel Levy and Scott Mullen in the stands, in my head I was thinking they probably already contacted representatives to do him over. Like, it wouldn't surprise me because that's the Tottenham way. They did it with Maurizio when speaking to Jose. So I think if he lost yesterday, I think he in the back of their minds thinking, right, if he doesn't turn around against Brighton and Man U, we need to sort something out.
Definitely. Audio Artisan is here saying, afternoon, chaps and chat. What's up, Audio? Nice to have you here, man, on this beautiful Thursday. Is today Thursday?
It is, yeah. I keep getting my days mixed up.
Me too, but it's because I work such weird days. But it's Thursday, everybody. We were almost done with the work week. Everybody, we're getting ready to have a day off. I can't wait. So that's a great thing. Audio, big up to you, my man. And look at this. El Tel Cockrow, Mr. Jose himself. I saw you on Kate's a little bit ago, bud. That looked like a fun time.
So El, if you want to jump on, let us know.
Yeah, man. We'd love to have you in here, buddy. If you have the time. That would be wonderful. And you know how to get in here. You can do it yourself.
You can do it yourself.
Yeah. I didn't mean that in a mean way. That came off a lot more rude sounding than I meant it to. I just mean look, say his name and he shall appear. But he doesn't have his camera on, so I want to make sure he's good to come on before I bring him. Ping us in the private chat when you want us to bring you on. I don't want to bring you on too early, buddy. And then Ryan G saying that we were very fortunate, but we got the job done. Very fortunate. What do you mean? We had that in the bag the entire match.
We were watching different games. We were absolutely incredible.
Yeah, we lit it up. I don't think that the Carabao Cup is ready for a team as good as Spurs. So we'll just get right into it though here. So Coventry clash, the goal that lifted Spurs, analyzing Brennan Johnson's impact. So we all know that Brennan Johnson didn't start this match. You can see it right there. We had Odegaard in, and I was excited for Odegaard to get the start. I was excited for him to play against some I don't want to say lower quality opposition because that just sounds rude, but I mean, it's kind of the truth of it. And I was excited for him. I thought, hey, this is his chance. He can maybe stick one in the back of the net, put all the people that say he's got no end products, put them in the mud, prove all the doubters wrong. And then he gets an injury early on. First of all, I don't know much about that injury. I know that Ange said it was kind of significant, but that could mean a million different things.
Obviously, they're going to have a day off today, so they'll probably assess it tomorrow. He definitely won't be part of the game on Saturday. I can't see it happening. But to me, it just looked like he fell over. So it could have been something completely different. So
Yeah, to me, I thought that for sure it was just like a muscle injury, like an impact, injury, like a dead leg or something. But I don't know. They were sure quick to bring him off. So I don't know. They didn't even assess him for very long at all.
See Brennan, and like he made like within a couple of seconds a bit more of impact, but then after that you just didn't really see him. And then, but he gave it a go. He carried on, and he got the winner.
Yeah, absolutely. And when the ball came through to him at the end, were you at all worried when it was Johnson 1-on-1 with the keeper? Were you
No, I was
scared?
more worried that it was offside because I was trying to look at it and I was like, "Oh, it's offside." But no, took it really well.
Look who we got. What is up, buddy? I haven't talked to you since the match yesterday, Jose, so I'm excited to see your point of view on everything. I think that we're pretty jovial, just because we're happy with the win. We're happy with the points, the fact that we pulled it out. But that 90 minutes or so before the goals was pretty bad, and I have a feeling you're gonna let us know what you think about it. Yeah, first of all, I want to go back to the lineup. When this lineup came out, I'll put it back up here. What were your thoughts, Jose, when the lineup came out? Oh, Jose, can you hear us? I can't. I think you might be.
Sorry,
muted,
I'm looking at the lineup.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Okay.
My fault.
First and foremost, I thought Forster. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I would rather have seen Brandon Austin in goal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Some of it. Well, there's one pass that he made really early on. I can't remember to what midfielder he made it to. He made it to a midfielder, and it was just a shitty pass. I think it's the Bergvall. It's a shitty pass. Bergvall did the splits to try and reach the ball, and he managed to do the splits the right way where the ball went out wider to one of our players. So yeah, it was that alarmed me. And then with the lineup, I wanted to see Mikey Moore start.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were in for that too. I mean, it wasn't just you.
But then obviously because you can't see this. I can't see the fucking substitutes properly.
Yeah, me neither. It looks like for the substitutes we had Vicario, Spence, Pedro Porro, Reguilon, Moore. So he was on the bench. Madison, Kulusevski, Johnson, Son.
Yeah.
So
okay. So yeah, they're my first initial two. I mean, I could have made changes to that lineup before we started, but you got to run with what he's got. But I wasn't enamoured with Foster in goal, and I thought Moore might have started the game. He was kept away from the under-21s game in Europe the day before.
Yeah,
and they lost. They could have used him. They lost.
Yeah, but they kept him out the side, and I thought they've kept him out the side to put him in for game time. I'm sure we're going to come to it anyway, but Mr. Moore has got an important part to play for us. I'm sure we're going to come to this, but he's got an important part.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
I think he would have made some part. If we were like 3-4-0 up, he would have come on.
But it's not a 3 or 4-0 though, Jamie. For me, I felt that this was a time to bleed him into the team. Let him start the match. Doesn't matter about 3 or 4-0 because you don't know what to do. It's 0-0 to start the game. But my thought was that, put it this way, I thought that he may have started this game yesterday. Whether it be for Werner or Odegaard, I would have thought that he would have started this game yesterday. And I thought the goalkeeper should have been Austin to start the game. Because you're asking me before a ball's been kicked what I think of the lineup. And they're the only two changes that I can tell. I could have made more, right? But I'm saying that initially when I first saw the lineup, I was like, oh, there's no Mikey Moore and there's no Brandon Austin in goal.
I saw Davis in there, and I also thought, but I do agree with the manager that I think he's probably better as a center back option than he is as a fullback in this system. So there is that, but that one was another one that was concerning to me.
You could quite easily, right? Looking at it, I could have said to you, I would have started Spence at right back. If you're not going to give a doggy the minutes, he doesn't need the minutes. Start Reggie on at left back and put Gray into midfield instead of Sarr. Because I've said all along, Sarr is an energizer bunny. He can get around the pitch and stuff like that. But what does he offer? What can you remember Sarr doing in any match this season? He
Well,
runs
he
around
season?
a lot.
No.
He looked like a headless chicken yesterday. He didn't know what he was doing.
For the whole season, he runs around a lot. But what does he actually do? What's he offering at the moment? So
Not
for
much.
me, I could have gone in and changed that, and put Gray into the midfield with Bentancur and Bergvall. If I'm going to rest players, that is, because quite clearly I would have loved to see Maddison play from the off. I would love to see Kulu play, Pedro play, all the players we're used to. I would like to see them play, but it's not. It was never going to happen.
With how important this game was, I feel like for Ange's future, though, I was expecting to see an almost full strength squad. And Jamie and I talked about this yesterday. It was kind of a must win match. This one and the match coming up against Brentford are very important, I think, for Ange's future at the club. And maybe I'm being a little dramatic with that. Maybe the club, the hierarchy at the club, see him as the long-term solution, kind of regardless of how these next few matches go. But I think a couple more losses and everybody would have started to turn on Ange. I know that obviously the fans don't dictate what the board does, but and yeah, I'll ask you that, both you guys. Did you think that Ange's job was kind of in jeopardy at all before we played yesterday? Jamie?
Me? I think if we lost, because we have a couple already. We've been technically invested. Yes, I understand that, but we're in 3 competitions. If he's out of one of them already, like we were last year, it's not looking good. And then we got Brentford, and then we got Man United, and everyone knows if we play Man United, we normally get sack of manager afterwards. I can look at Nuno, so I would have seen it would have been the same again.
Well, and just the fact that he made that comment just days before about having to win a trophy, or winning a trophy in his second season, which I know was taken out of context a bit. But Jose, did you think there was any danger with him and his job had he lost that match yesterday?
There was no danger before he played the game, and there's no danger after he played the game. Regardless, at the end of the day, however much I may or may not think of what's going on at the moment, he's been brought in. There's a reason why he was given that bloody contract for 4 years, and we can look at other teams. Not that we should do, but you can look at other teams, and other teams are stuck by their managers. They've done jack squiddly for 4 years before they won anything, but they stuck with their managers because there was a process in place. Whether people like the word process, project, whatever word you want to bloody use, right? At the end of the day, if you bring someone in on a long-term contract, it's because all is aligning with everybody in every department. This is the roadmap that we've got. This is what we want to end up doing. And therefore, because you haven't got there within 14 months, that's not the bloody end of the world. So for me, like I said, I think I was when did I do a show yesterday? Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
And on my show yesterday, I said I'm Ange in, but the only concern that I've got, and I shouldn't have this concern, because if I'm trusting and I'm believing in what we're doing, then I shouldn't have this concern. But we are world champions on paper. And I keep repeating this to people. We're world champions on paper. All the possession, all the passes, all the limiting opportunities, all the pressing, the PPDAs, absolutely everything. We come out the dog's bollocks top. The only thing we don't come out top on is we don't get the W's. We're not getting the victories. We need to convert. Listen, if we lose 5%, if we lose 5 or 10% possession, right? But we create more clear-cut chances and we take them, we would not be having this conversation. We would be getting 3 points in the matches. And that's my only concern at the moment, is that we're not converting. All this shit is not being converted into wins. And that's my only where I sit at the moment. We need to start getting these W's, right? And we need to start getting them in clusters, not win one, lose the next 4, or don't get another win for the next four games, then win your 5th game and then go through the same cycle again. You need to start putting 2, 3, 4, 5 building blocks. Let's say we had 3 games, 3 wins and a draw, and then we went on a 4-game winning run. That's building blocks. But when you're winning 1 game and then you're doing jack for the next 4, it's not good. It's not a good look, and that's what might get you into trouble. We need to start converting these into W's, is what I'm looking at, and that means taking your chances. Because when I look at it, and I asked the question myself at the Arsenal game, I look at the stats for Arsenal. I'm not going to repeat them because anyone can find the stats for the Arsenal game. But we had something like 66% of that ball. We passed the ball, I don't know, 590 times compared to their 261s. We had 5 chances apparently on target and 5 off target to their 4 on target and 1 off target or something. But when it comes to clear-cut chances, we had 0 and they had 2. And, it's all right being brilliant on the stats. We limited the amount of chances they had and stuff. But we've done this every game this season to all the teams we've played against so far. But being the best on paper doesn't get us the fucking points at the end of the day. And that's where my concern is. We need to start converting this into points. And as I said, I'm quite happy to drop that 5, 10, 15, 20% of whatever it is, in possession stats to ensure that we create the clear-cut chances and obviously take them as well.
I'm gonna say, that's what I'm worried. Sorry, Colin, do you want to
go? No, you go.
I think that's what I'm worried about because I was looking at the table now because I think we're 13th and 4 points from 12, and we should have won all of those games. Looking from the stats, like you said, it's concerning that we brought all these wingers in. They're training every week, and they still can't get crossing for us to convert. And it's worrying because we've got let's remember Brentford are not they are a dangerous team. Like going forward, like I can't remember his name. Was it Noembo? Whatever his name is.
I think he's hurt, right? He's injured.
Whistler's out for 2 months. But Mohamed, he's still just as dangerous. If we lose to them, there's going to be boos on Saturday. You know there will be. And then we've got Man United away. No, then we've got the Carabao Cup. Not Carabao Cup.
The Europa League. Europa
League on a Thursday. Which I'm going to. And if they ruin my day there, it's going to piss me off.
Yeah, Jamie will be there that night.
I'm going there. And then we've also got the Man United away on a Sunday.
And then we're at Ferencváros, and then we're away to Brighton.
And Brighton's not an easy team either.
And our next home game is West Ham on the 19th of October.
And that's
we need to get Tony on.
That's a 12:30 kickoff, isn't it? So yeah,
it's a 12:30. Yeah,
it's concerning, and if we don't get out of this rut quickly, I reckon October is going to be a tough month for Ange. I'm Ange. Like, don't get me wrong, I want him to succeed, but I can see if the results go away. Levy's got no problem just getting someone else in.
Who is there to get in? I just think that the options are so limited right now too that I think that's.
You got Tuchel's still is available. You've got Graham Potter still available.
Forget about the managers that are available. Ange ain't going nowhere.
I don't want him to go anywhere.
I pray you're correct. Yeah,
but it's just concerning. I know everyone's got their own opinion. It's just, I just want to see us win.
Yeah, okay, but the thing is though, Jamie and Colin, right? If we said at the start of last season, because I remained what I said last start of the season, we've given the guy a 4-year contract. Now I manage big teams. I always have done, right? I have to align myself to what my employers want. So if my employers want to do this in the next 3 years, I align my work to ensure that my teams affect what we're looking to do for the next 3 years, right? Yeah. So that means he's been given a 4-year contract. So they would have sat down, right?
Yeah.
They would have discussed where they want to see this club in 4 years and what they want to see this club doing. Right. What will get us there? What will get us there in 4 years' time of whatever we want to do? And that would have come from the hierarchy, from whatever we want to do, what will get us there in 4 years? So Ange has been given the contract because he's the man they believe will get them there in 4 years. So they've told Ange what they want and what their expectations are. Ange has obviously done his interview. He's met the expectations, told them how his views are on how they can get there. Right. Then they change all the back team that do the transfers. So it's not just Ange. They've changed all that. Before Ange came in, we changed the way we run the academy. So everything is changing to align with where we want to be in 4 years and beyond. Right. So it's a case of, and I said last year, we're not going to do it overnight, and it was never going to be overnight, but it's going to take time. I've got to a point, it's quite frustrating, and it's probably because it was Arsenal that we lost to. All right. I'm going to be brutally honest. Because it's Arsenal we lost to, it highlighted for me even more, with this season, forget last season, but this season, we are controlling the ball, controlling the games reducing the opponent's opportunities, everything like that. So on paper, like I said, we're world champions, but we didn't get the result against Arsenal, and I think that's what's made me start thinking, bloody hell, hold on, it's great being all this, that, and the other, but we need to start turning them L's into W's, and that's what
I like that.
That's what we need to start doing, and if we so therefore I have to be mindful, and I've got to be true to myself. I said I was in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
So therefore I should be in it for the long haul. It's just it was Arsenal, and that's what made me tip. However, I'm hoping that we do start going on a run, and that we do start winning games. And if we do that, then you keep, as they say, sorry, pardon the pun, but you keep the wolves from the door.
Yeah.
And that's what
I haven't heard that before. That's an expression I've never heard. So thank you for teaching me.
Keeping the wolves from the door. Yeah. So at the end of the day, yeah, I know that we've got loads of fans. Well, no, I'm not going to say loads. We've got fans that have been completely anti the manager. We've got fans that are completely anti the board. We've got fans that are completely anti certain players, and then you've got others that bypass all that, and because they bypass all that, you're classed as supposed happy clapper, and
Right.
if you're in one of these other camps, because there are other camps, there's a split fan base, then you're a negative person. At the end of the day, everyone's going to support the team and the club the way that they want to. And all I'm going to say to people is, if you don't like what people are saying, switch off. Surround yourself with someone different. There's stop all this warring with each other. Stop the warring with each other. There's no need to war with people. Just stand. You're allowed to support your team the way you want to support them. Stand by your conviction. And if your conviction is this is how you feel, then that's how you feel. But at the end of the day, there's no point going at each other. It makes no sense at all to go at each other. Just stand by your conviction, and then at the end of the day, have your own opinion. Don't be influenced by people. At the end of the day, whatever your gut feeling is, right, is originally the right thought that you've got. And
Yeah,
don't be
I like
swayed.
that.
It's in life as well. It doesn't have to be about football. If you've got a gut feeling about something, stick with it because your gut's telling you you're right.
Yeah.
So if you say, look, I'm Ange in and I want to support the team, your gut feeling's telling you that, then do that. If your gut tells you I'm Ange out, then you're Ange out. At the end of the day, everybody is entitled to their own opinions.
And I
But
think saying Ange in or Ange out sort of is oversimplifying it. You know what I mean? I think some people don't think that he's able to make it work. Some people do, but I think even the people that are unsure of whether or not he can make it work, I don't think they're automatically Ange out. I think there's more degrees to this. I think a lot of people want to paint it as like a black and white thing. You're either Ange in or you're Ange out. But I think that's oversimplifying it a bit.
I think that's what Chelsea was saying as well. Like when Ange came in, people didn't want him, so they're automatically out regardless. So they don't want him to succeed because they thought if he doesn't succeed, we've got something to moan about with the board, and then as fans will start attacking each other. Like if you don't like it, like you said, just don't join in the conversation. Switch off. It's exactly what he said. I agree with.
yeah, don't roll yourself up about it. There's no point. At the end of the day, stand by your own convictions. Don't get rolled by it. Simple.
Yeah. Absolutely. We got Destiny in the house saying all good. Let's start winning. But what about setting ourselves up to give ourselves a chance? Yeah. Absolutely. And I think we're going to see some changes in the lineup going forward, just because we'll get to it. But some things that happened last night. Wayne Bonner's also in the house. Big up Wayne. It's a slow
Wayne.
start
How are
to
you,
the
mate? I hope you're
well. Wayne Bonner, always here. Good old Wayne. It says it's a slow start to the season, formal pickup, but we need to freshen up the first team. Werner and Johnson are not out-and-out wingers. And Jose will agree with that all day long. You've been saying that Johnson isn't an out-and-out winger to me and to probably everybody that you speak with.
He's being. They're trying to. They've seen something in him, hence why they bought him, and they're trying to convert him to something that he wasn't doing before at Forest. However, in saying that, where did he get his goal from yesterday?
The wing.
Down the middle. He was down the middle of the pitch. The pass went into him. He was down the middle of the pitch. He didn't come. He wasn't on the wing. He went in on goal from the middle of the pitch.
I guess
And
I meant he was lined up as a winger at that
Do
point.
you think they're trying to get him to go more as close? His classes at Forest was a right mid, wasn't he? So I'd say they're trying to get him more as like a striker ish.
I actually thought myself, that he played as a second striker for Forest. I actually thought that he played up front as a second striker, and that's where his best work came from. But we're now, I think we've bought him because whoever it is that's bought him and whoever did the analysis on him feels that he has the attributes to do what's needed to be done in this system from the wide hand side. But at the end of the day, it's not an overnight thing. Listen, let me tell you, and Colin knows this already. Jamie, I think the players in this country that play the Premiership are fucking overpaid pricks because a lot of them get paid 100 grand a week and can only kick a football with one fucking foot. At the end of the day, back in the day when I grew up playing football, people were two-footed, man. People played with left and right.
Yeah.
They could play equally with left and right. Do you know what I mean? In Spain, I remember years ago, everyone talking about the Premiership, this, that, and the other. And you look at a right back in Spain, any club, doesn't have to be the biggest clubs, but any club, your right back could fucking play centre midfield quite comfortably because they were able to kick the ball with 2 feet. And do you know what? They probably got paid 6 grand a month in foreign leagues. But over here, they give you 100 grand to kick with 1 foot and sometimes badly with that 1 foot. So for me, at the end of the day, football is just it's mental here in England. It's absolute madness. And sometimes I think we overhype things in England so much that then they shouldn't be hyped as much as what they are. So
well, the whole best league in the world, tag that the Premier League has, I'm not sure I agree with that. Yeah, I agree, and I mean maybe it is true, but I agree with what you're saying. There is some hype going on, and maybe to the point of overhyping. But back to the match yesterday. Lineup, we weren't super excited about it. I was kind of nervous. I thought we were going to have a repeat of last season's early cup exit.
Is this before the game started, Colin? Is that your thoughts?
Yeah,
Okay.
That was my thoughts before the game started. I don't know if you guys felt the same way, but I was like, oh God, here we go. And then I thought, right after Ange makes that comment about how he always wins something in his second season, which again, I will stress, I think was taken out of context. He was saying, and he clarified in his next press conference that he was saying that he has up until now won something in his second season. So why would he lie about that? I do think there was a little bit of frustration in there whenever he answered the question. You could tell he was a little frustrated with the lady that was interviewing, but
she was a bit of a pain in the ass.
She was poking at him. She was poking at him a little bit.
Poking the bear and like he bit back.
Yeah, which is fine. But I was like, great. This is just going to be more ammo for all the people that are loudly want him out. And so yeah, and then the match starts. So the match starts. What were your thoughts, Jamie? As the match kind of went on, did you see anything promising from us at the beginning?
Well, no, because I got out of the shower and I saw my phone. My brother goes, "Have you seen the lineup?" And I was like, and when I looked at it, thinking, "Oh, it's going to be bad," and it wasn't the greatest lineup in the world, was it? But no, like when I saw it, I thought this is going to be a really long day. It's going to be quite a stressful game because even though Championship is a hard league. And like they play what?
Physical.
44 games. I'm not sure that they play. So I knew it wasn't going to be no turnover. I think if we had a full squad, I think we'd have won that comfortably. But people don't really play together. Everyone looked lost, and it was lucky we were lucky yesterday. Really lucky.
Do you think in situations like that we ought to drop the line back a bit? We were still playing with the same high line we always play with, but with 2 defenders in Dragish and Davis who don't play together, who are both not the paciest guys around. We didn't have a Van der Ven out on the pitch to bail everybody out with his speed. And I know I'm kind of getting off track here, but do you think there are times where we should drop the line back a bit? And I'll throw that to either of you guys.
It wasn't their forward line that was hurting us yesterday. It was their midfield. Their midfield played fucking through us, and their defenders, their fullbacks had a field day because the wingers did fuck all. So their fullbacks had a field day. Solanke was not given anything at all by anybody.
No.
So therefore, their centre arse have had a field day as well. All they got to do is watch the man. At all stages, they could see his name and number on his shirt at all stages because no one gave him a chance. No one gave him a ball, nothing at all. And then in the midfield, their midfield ran it. They overran our midfield because we had. I thought Bergvall had some good touches in that. I was absolutely pissed off at the time when he made the substitution and took Bergvall off and kept Sarr on the pitch. But I understand it. Bergvall has not had many minutes, and Pape Sarr has. So therefore, Pape Sarr would have an engine to play 90 or majority of 90 over Bergvall. So I do understand it, but it's frustrating that Bergvall was the first one to come off out of him and Sarr. Defensively, the only reason why we would cause problems is because they won the battle in midfield, and they won the battle in with our strikers as well and our wingers and that's what gave them momentum. At the end of the day, their forwards could do whatever they wanted at the end of the day because they had their midfield and defenders supporting them, and it is what it is. But
I don't know much about this Coventry team, but their front line looked pretty good. They've got pace, pretty decent close control. There was the fellow that had the shot that Ben Davies blocked at the line, and we'll get to that. We'll get to that funny little passage of play in a second. But that fellow looked good. He looked like a good player. I'm not super familiar with this Coventry team, but yeah, I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought that he looked pretty good. He looked like a good quality player, and maybe we made him look better than he was.
What position are you talking about? Is he talking about their centre forward, Asante?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so he's a young kid from Belgium I've never seen play before.
Really?
It's the first time I've seen him play. So yesterday he played. It's the first time I've seen him play. Normally they play with Ellis up front, who used to be ex Everton. The big guy, the number 9 that got substituted. He substituted for him in the second half. He's the guy that started last season, and he played in the cup games against Man United and everyone else. And he was also their main striker. They bought him from Everton, a youngster. But yesterday, as I said, they started with that Asante. He's a Belgian kid who I've never seen play before. Mikey.
Well, I was thinking like Sim when he came on, he looked dangerous as well, didn't he?
That's him, Sims.
Yeah.
He was their number 9 last year. He's the number 9 anyway, still. But he didn't start the game yesterday. That Asante or whatever started the game up front. The Belgian kid that they got. But then they substituted him for Ellis in the second half.
Yeah, no, he was dangerous the minute he came on because they had so many more chances they could have just finished this.
Absolutely. But we had to give Ben Davies his kudos for his heroics. I know that he was sort of at fault, and I say sort of, kind of completely maybe at fault for the goal that did go in. But that goal line clearance from Ben Davies after the weird miscommunication. I don't even know if you can call it a miscommunication. What was Forster doing when he came out for that ball?
This is he didn't have to come out and run. Like Dragerson could have just pulled him further to the side, and he was like, "No, let me have a go," just to get involved. It was shocking.
Looked like he was going for a piggyback ride. It was like, "Hey, hold and I understand Dragerson's got broad shoulders. I want a piggyback ride. I'd take a piggyback ride from him, but it wasn't the right time, obviously. But anyway, it put us in a position where they had an open goal. Ben Davies made the sprint of his life, slid in, made the block. That's why Ben Davies is there. That's why he's still with us. He would give everything for the team. I'm not saying that Ben Davies is the answer going forward. Good God, he's close to the end of his run with Spurs, I think. But I was very happy with that play in particular. So kudos to Ben Davies for that. I don't know how you guys feel about that. If you guys felt the same way, if you guys were as excited as I was. I've always kind of been a defender of Ben Davies because I think he gets a lot of stick. I like the fact that he's a model professional, doesn't make tons of money, compared to some of the guys on the team. Doesn't ever seem to kick up a fuss. Is cool sitting on the bench. Seems to enjoy playing for Spurs. I've always liked Ben. I've got time for Ben Davies. So I was pretty happy. Definitely, I was happy that he got that block in. But yeah, what do you think? What do you think happened there, Jose? Do you think that Forster just kind of got overexcited and thought, I need to go punch this ball out or head this ball out, I guess, because he was out of his box completely. Just a rush of blood to the head, lapse of judgment.
In America, you've got a famous film. I can't remember if Doris Day was in it, but you had a famous film anyway. and it was called Calamity Jane. And that's all I'm going to say. That's what I felt before the game started. That's what I felt during the game. I only felt not Calamity Jane when the game had finished.
Absolutely. So we're playing the game, and I'm going to jump kind of back in time here. We have Wilson Odebear playing, and I'm so excited for the guy. I thought, hey, this is going to be his time to get his goal, get a goal, put his get his name on the score sheet, put to bed maybe. Everybody's saying he's got no end product, because I think it's awfully soon to say he's got no end product. He's a 19-year-old kid, played a handful of matches for us. It takes people a while to settle in. So I thought, hey, this would be a great time for him to settle in, to get 90 minutes, hopefully, to maybe put one away. And obviously then his injury came. I'm not sure how bad the injury is. To me, it didn't look like anything particularly significant. Sometimes those are the worst ones. Sometimes the injuries where it doesn't really look like much happened are the ones that put you out the longest. And we all know who came in. It was one Mr. Brennan Johnson. And we had lots of talks before the match, Jose, about whether or not Brennan would start. We were all thinking, if he gets hooked and taken off during this match, his confidence would be absolutely destroyed. Were you at all nervous when Brennan came on?
Nah, because you're quite right in what your assessment of Odegaard. Odegaard is exactly that. He's a 19-year-old kid, and as for me, he's a 19-year-old kid with a lot of promise. There's a lot of hype around this kid, right? And that's all it is. It's hype. He hasn't done nothing to show anything at the moment at Tottenham. When he starts going past people, right, and he starts affecting games, then you can tell me that he's a really good player. Up until now, he's another player. He's got promise. He hasn't done anything in the shirt at the moment, though. But it's unfortunate what happened to him. I always say this. I don't wish injury on any player, whether you're ours or theirs. Illnesses is not good, because for them, that's an illness. That means they're going to be out of playing the game, and so something's happened to them physically, but something can then happen to them mentally. So I wish illness on nobody at all. I wish him a speedy recovery in whatever they find is wrong. But you're quite right. Sometimes the ones that you don't see are the ones that you're like, what? So we've had it in the past with some of our players where something innocuous has happened, or someone's finished playing the game and then all of a sudden they're out. I watched the game against Everton because I was there, and I remember calling in and saying, God, Van der Ven took a knock. And I thought he was coming off because I saw Dragusin getting readied.
Yeah.
Van der Ven finished the game. What happened after that? He was out for the next 3 weeks. So the ones that you don't see, the ones that you don't know too much about, are sometimes the ones that cause you the biggest ache. I hope that, whatever it is, I hope it's not going to be keeping him out for a long time. But we're going to need to wait and see what happens. But yeah, it's exactly what he is. He's a 19-year-old kid with a lot of promise, and he hasn't done nothing for us yet.
Yep, absolutely true. Absolutely true. We got Saxham in the house. What is up, sir? He's saying signing Werner was the worst bit of business this season. It's still one that kind of confuses me. I'm not 100% sure why we extended his loan, or loaned him for another season. Any insight into that, you guys think? Either of you guys have anything to say about the Werner signing, but bringing Werner back on another year's loan?
I don't think
honestly, I think
was
covered.
And just for this season, I thought last season, but maybe because it was a cheap deal to get him on, and like the player that he probably wanted is not going to be available yet, or it's a bit too much money. So keep him for one more year, and then if it's like, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't go well, they just send him back. It's a cheap loan deal. But no, I don't think it was for Ange for the second season. I think the player they probably wanted just wasn't available yet, so they've just got him as like just
I just thought of this, but he could be a stopgap until the Korean lad. I always forget his name. I'm going to look it up and commit it to memory. But he could. It could be a stopgap until he's ready. He's supposed to be the next best thing
in January.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread. So
the thing I did, I went on someone's members show today because I was a member. So I went on their show and I said, the interesting thing for me is, right, And again, I don't wish illness on anyone, but we don't know what's happened with Werner yet. We don't know the extent of the injury or anything either.
Yeah.
But I said, if they came back and said he's going to be out for the next 4 months, what did Tottenham then do? Did Tottenham give him back to the parent club and say, look, he's yours? It's yours to deal with and that. And people were saying, well, it depends how much they want, but they rate Werner. It doesn't matter how much you rate Werner. You've got a duty of care as an employer, right?
Yeah.
And also as well, for them, if they don't fancy Werner, they're going to try and look to sell him. So therefore, it's in their interest to bring him back fit, right? In order to try and see if they can recoup any money from it at the end of the season. So it'll be an interesting one to see what happens with Werner and how long his injury is going to set him out for.
But
Absolutely.
if they cancel his loan if he's injured,
No, they won't.
sure.
Sometimes they don't cancel the loan, Jamie. Sometimes you go back to your parent club because we signed him on a season-long loan. So unless it was mutually agreed, I think, between both parties that 4 months is the majority of the season, and that the likelihood is that he's not going to get up to speed, then you could probably have a chat with, because obviously it takes two parties to make that contract. So you don't want to break the contract on either side. So they'll have to have a conversation. But I just felt that if he's out for like 4 months because he had a really bad tear, let's say he was out for 4 months, what then happens? Do you let Werner go back to his parent club and then have that conversation? He's not going to come back, and you cut ties with him. It's interesting because we don't know what's wrong with him. We don't know the extent of the injury yet. So
no, it looked quite painful in his face reaction. He didn't look too happy, did he?
Let's measure his pain in his face to Mickey van der Ven's pain in his face last year against Chelsea when he tore his hamstring. Who had the more grimace on their face?
Oh, Mickey was definitely his face like he was crying.
Oh, dude, I thought for sure he was coming off that day. Yeah, so
yeah, but there's more grimace in his face, wasn't there? I mean, everyone's bodies are different. So, and we lost Mickey for 3 months, didn't we? So it depends on what tear Vernon's got.
I think we should hopefully find out at some point tomorrow. The press conference is tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes, the press is tomorrow, but I don't know whether we'll find out by tomorrow. I said earlier it'll be tomorrow the earliest. But if not, it might even be Monday that we find out. So obviously, I think in the press tomorrow, he's going to tell us that both of them players are definitely out. But whether the medical team have updated right straight away, because normally they give it 48 hours.
Yeah,
so
let kind of the swelling go down.
To calm down. Well, 48 hours won't be till tomorrow night, and the press is in the afternoon.
True. Chris Agenbar says that he'll be going back. He would be better off going back to his club's medical department to recover quicker rather than to use our medical department. Big up Chris Agenbar. Yeah, our medical department doesn't seem to be the best. I don't know if that's becoming just
the main guy that was there for like donkey years.
Oh, really? Really? I wasn't aware of that. But
yeah, the New Zealand guy. He was on the documentary. He's no longer with the club.
Interesting. I think maybe it's becoming a bit of a meme, a bit of with talking about our medical team. I don't know if they're quite as bad as everyone makes them out to be, but yeah, I do think, Chris, that it is very possible that he does go back to his parent club and go to recover there. And then we got Pete. Pete the paramedic is in the house. He was telling us earlier what time it was. So I guess that makes it 12:35 in Melbourne right now. Big up, Pete. Hope you're doing well. But he says, I always back the players, but Werner should be ashamed of himself. He's stealing money from the club. My whole plan was to talk about the match, and we absolutely will. But
this is part of the match.
Yeah. How does Werner go from being a player and I understand Bundesliga and Premier League. We weren't playing a Premier League team yesterday, but you know what I'm saying. There's differences there, but he was a good player at one time. I just wonder what happened to him.
Exactly what you just said. He was a good player at one time. For the last 4 years, he hasn't shown up for anybody. No. And and that's factual. He hasn't shown up for anyone for the last 4 years, which makes this. I know what you said earlier, Jamie. It makes this. It makes him bringing him back to the club for a second season an even stranger decision, unless it was a ploy to save the money to go and buy someone next season in that position. But at the end of the day, that's the only thing that I can think of. Because other than that, I found it a really strange decision. to bring.
No,
it
because
to
I
the
remember
numbers.
when we played them in Champions League, Leipzig, he was unstoppable. And then he went to Chelsea, kind of had a mismatch kind of season, and then he went back and he got kicked out of the squad. He just couldn't do anything. And now we got him. I was quite excited to have him. I thought, like, he's going to get a lot of stick, but I thought he might work in the system, and it just didn't.
With the way Ange likes his wingers to kind of bust a gut down the line, beat their man, get a cross in, I thought he could for sure do that. And I think last season he showed a bit of that. This season he showed none. He showed none of that this season. I was one of his biggest defenders last season because I thought he was getting just an unfair amount of stick for the way that he was playing. But now I'm having a really hard time defending him now. It's not as easy as it was.
Colin, as we used to co-host in the past, Colin knows my thoughts. I was so hoping that Werner and Johnson, if they even fucking scored 10 goals between them and they provided 20 assists between them, I just wanted people to shut up about these because they're picking on just two players at a team. And I just wanted them to go out there and do something this season to shut these people up. You know, are they not the best? Are they the best in the world? No, they're not. But I just wanted them to do something to shut people up. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, they're not doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, because I can understand people are entitled to their opinion on the player, but it's just when it gets personal, I just don't like it.
Yeah, but Werner's done nothing. I mean, it's still, I wanted him to do well, still want him to do well, but he's just not doing it. And it's, it makes it even stranger. It continues. I think the three of us agree, and I think most of the chat will agree. It's such a strange decision bringing him for the second season.
Definitely. And I don't know who was behind that, what the thinking behind that was. We'll probably never know. Maybe Ange will have a book someday, and he probably will. Managers seem to do that.
He's got two books out already. I've got one of them. I still haven't read it. I really need to start reading it.
Well, maybe he'll write another one about his tenure at Spurs, and we'll find out exactly what
that'd be like a massive Harry Potter book. That would be like in 4 years.
Yeah, if he lasts the 4 years, God, I hope he does. God, I hope he does. And real quick question: do you guys think that it'll last the 4 years at Spurs with the way that we chop and change managers?
I don't.
I kind of do, but
it's hard to say. Like, I really like him. I really do. I just feel like because he's a manager that doesn't stay there at a club for more than 2 years, isn't he? He's like that kind of project thing. I think remember him saying, but. I feel like I think he'll get through the season. I just don't think he'll be there for the next.
But the thing is though, when do you? Look, I'll keep going back to employment. If you're on a roadmap and you're on a road path altogether, you know what you're trying to achieve and trying to go for. Then you either stick through it, or you've got to rip up your roadmap because it was your thought of what you were going to do and everything. You got to rip it up because you were wrong.
Yeah.
If you sack the manager or you sack any part of these people that you've brought in to execute something for the next 4 years, if you start getting rid of people that you've brought in to do this, then it means that your overall plan, journey, roadmap, whatever it was wrong. And therefore, what you're going to do, chop it up, rip it up, start all over again. It just means you're going to every fucking roadmap you're going to do is going to be completely wrong. At the end of the day, right, whether I like it or not, right. And I'm not one of these people that stands on the high road and stuff like that. Whether you like it or not, you just need to let fucking football be dealt with by football people. End of. Don't meddle. Don't get involved. You're brilliant businessmen. You're brilliant in other spheres, but you're absolutely shit at football. And, I think a lot of us have been crying out for is to have people on the board that have got a fucking footballing brain, that understand football. Because these people understand the pound note, but they don't understand the round ball.
I like that. That's a good saying. I'm stealing that.
I
frequently steal. I was just getting ready to say almost everything you say. We had that conversation on the phone yesterday, and then I got on the show and I parroted about half of what you said. I credited you though. I at least credited you, and I said if he's watching this, he's going to give me some shit for stealing all those points. But you talk sense. You talk sense, and you're
very good with words and like little anagrams. I like it.
Yeah,
sometimes it goes right over my head, and I'm like, what?
We're gonna make Jose's head too big.
Well, you said the other day. I think you messaged me, Colin. He was like, "Happy clappers." I was like, "What the hell does that even mean?" And I just agreed. Yeah. I did like a yes man. I just Now I understand what it was. It's like, I don't know
Yeah.
what the hell happy clapper meant.
Hey, if anyone wants to call me a happy clapper, that is totally fine with me. I just wanted to throw up this comment. Evil Din, what is up, sir? I don't know if I've seen your name around these parts, but it is very nice to have you in the house. He said it was Ange. He already wanted him in Scotland. I don't know if we're talking. Are we talking still Werner here, or have we moved on to Brennan Johnson? Because I know that he wanted Brennan.
It's one of the two. It's one of the two.
I reckon it's a good team though.
Yeah, interesting.
I like the name Evil Din. Lovely.
Yeah, glad to have you here. Hit the subscribe button, man. Join us. Be part of the team. We're nice people in these parts.
Werner. He said down the bottom there, Evil's coming with Werner. He was talking about Werner.
Snap. Cool, man. Yeah, I had no idea. I knew for a fact that he wanted Brennan and that he'd been wanting Brennan for a while.
Can I just go back, to Ange? Because obviously I reckon he's going to won't be there next season. Do you reckon he'll be there next season? And Jose, what about you?
I do.
I've said he'll be here next year.
Yeah.
If he's not, then it just means whatever plans we had as a club have been torn up again by people that don't know football, that only know the pound note. Simple as.
And speaking of pound notes, we've spent a lot of money on players for this manager, and I think that bringing in another manager and then asking him to get results with other people's players with a weird amalgamation of players that don't. Yeah, I just think it's asking a lot. I don't think it's fair to Ange. I don't think it's fair to the next guy we would bring in. So yeah, I think that we need to actually just keep our wigs on and see this thing out, because I don't want to keep bringing up other teams, but like Jose was saying, but it takes time. It takes time to build something. We've already gotten a big step of it done by getting rid of most of the dead wood. We've been bringing in players for the manager. Are they his first choice? We'll never know, unless, like I said, he writes a book about it. But
I'm just fed up of how many projects we've had in the amount of years. It's just stupid. We'll keep buying players for the manager, and then they get rid of him, and then they've got to adjust him to a new manager, and he doesn't like him, he gets rid of them. So it's just wasteful money.
Which happens everywhere you go. A manager's going to bring their own personnel because they've got their own philosophy, their own style, and their own way of playing football. Some of the players that you inherit might be able to do your bits and pieces for you. Right, you've got Arne Slot. Arne Slot at the moment decided that his squad that Klopp had left him behind, we'd like to think it's either that or Liverpool didn't have no money, right? But in the press conferences, he's come out and said, no, I'm happy with what I've been left behind. And in all honesty, what Klopp did leave behind, because he revamped the midfield before he'd left.
He did, yeah.
A season or two ago. He revamped the forward line. So Slot's come into a team where he can use the players he's got. Yeah, he's going to put his own stamp. He's going to play his own way. And over time, maybe in the January transfer window next summer, he'll start moving some pieces around. All people do that. However, every time you bring a new manager in, right, then what ends up happening invariably is that whatever you've built in the past gets thrown out and you've got to start all over again. And how many times have we done that? How many times have we done that? At the end of the day, someone's got to have steel bollocks in this place. Either see out what you were going to do, right, and stick with the plan that you had. Because every time you rip it all up, you're admitting fucking defeat, and you're making yourselves look even more knobbyish than what you already are.
And this is why I wanted Levy to do the investment on Poch when he does it's gonna be a horrible rebuild. Because I think we would have won something if he did all that. But he just got
you mean if he had spent all this money that he spent on these other managers, if he'd given it to Poch?
If he gave it to Poch, I reckon we would have won maybe 1 or 2 trophies. I maybe being crazy, but
we can't get stuck in the past. We're here now.
Yeah, no, I get that, but it's just annoying because even he said it's gonna be a painful rebuild. Like I reckon Sonny or Kane would have probably been sold maybe in that because he thinks it's gonna be painful. But we don't know. Yeah. But it's irritating. He's just wasting money and just wants a top manager, and it's not working.
Sonny is a player we need to touch on for sure. But guys, if you like what Jose's been saying, you think he's a smart guy just like I do, please make sure you sub to him. Here's the link to his channel, El Tal Cockerel. Great channel. Does lots of fun things. Similar to here, there's match breakdowns. There's talks about upcoming matches. He also does a wonderful predictions league. He also runs a fantasy football league, and then What's the other? Predict the Prem? Is that the name of the?
Predict the Prem, yeah. They're the three
Yep.
competitions we're running this year from the channel.
Yeah,
Are you
all
on,
three,
are you
all
on
free of
tomorrow?
charge.
Aren't you? You're on at 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Tomorrow's the prediction show for
I
the
need
weekend.
to do my studies because I had a shocker.
My mom, I think it's hilarious. I did absolutely piss poor, and my mom did one of the better jobs out of everybody. I think
Two people scored 11 points, and your mum was one of them. Her and one other, I can't remember the other one was, but it was two people got 11 points.
Big up, Ma. She
They
knows
did
her
well.
football. She knows
I think
her
she's
football.
using like ChatGPT. She's getting something done.
No, she just watches tons of Premier League. She's a football fan through and through. That's where I get it.
She's the mystic Meg of football.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Quez.
Oh, it was Quez saying nice stuff. I didn't even see it.
Yeah,
Cool.
He's the one below.
Loving the Predict the Prem competitions. Absolutely, we all do. It's a nice escape from the negativity that sometimes surrounds Spurs. So yeah, thanks for doing that, Jose. We appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. Okay, so guys, let's jump back in and let's talk about first half. At least at the end of the first half, we were still 0-0. That's all I can really say about the first half is that at least we didn't go in down any goals. Forster, every single time a ball came into him, I got scared. He fumbled it. He'd end up with the ball eventually, but he'd catch it, he'd drop it, he'd pick it back up. It seems to be a problem that we have with our two starting keepers right now is that neither of them are super commanding in their box. Would you guys agree with that? Do you think I'm talking shit? I don't think Vicario is very commanding in his box, and it didn't look like Forster was either. And Mr. Jose, what do you think about our keepers? And in particular Forster, I guess now because we're talking about the game yesterday.
I think I made it clear on my channel yesterday. To me, at the end of the day, with goalkeepers, I want a keeper that's gonna. He doesn't have to be the biggest guy in the world. And I referenced. You won't remember. You two are too young. Chelsea had a goalkeeper called Peter Bonetti back in the 70s, right? And all the other goalkeepers were big bruisers that played around in the other teams. But Peter Bonetti was agile. They used to call him the cat. He was really agile, right?
Yeah.
But Peter Bonetti, slight frame like Vicario and that. Vicario is possibly a bit taller than Peter Bonetti, but Peter Bonetti would come out of his box, right, and would smash the striker. He'd come out to punch the ball, and if he didn't get the ball, he's chinning the striker at the same time, right? And I keep saying, goalkeepers are defended so much by referees that if you went out to get the ball and you chinned the striker, inadvertently, the goalkeeper still gets the free kick because they're protected. Because they'll say the striker's gone into the keeper, but you've
your face hit their fist. Yeah,
but you've cleaned the striker out. Do you know what I mean? And to me, I want a goalkeeper. I've always wanted a goalkeeper that can command their box, which is 18 yards. But sometimes we have goalkeepers that struggle to look after their own 6-yard box, let alone the whole box. And Vicario is not the biggest in muscle mass and stuff like that, but still he should be able to come out and clean strikers out. Yesterday Forster, I will give it to him. Forster came out and he did come out in a ruck of players and he made a punch to the ball. Okay, the ball didn't go far, but he got to that ball and he punched it. Do you know what I mean? And what kind of confidence? And I said this yesterday on my show. What kind of confidence your goalkeeper coming out to collect or smash or clean out the opposing players? How much confidence does that give you? Does that give your team? Not just your defenders, but everyone who's around you in the box. Oh, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Vic's gonna smash them. You know what I mean? And that's what you want. Yeah. And in the olden days, we used to have that. It used to be 2 a penny. God, the goalkeeper. And I named goalkeepers yesterday. I was rattling off names of goalkeepers from the past, and they didn't. Some of them were big, ugly, had lost their front 2 teeth because of rucking, the same as forwards. Back in the day, centre forwards, centre backs, and goalkeepers were missing their front 2 teeth for obvious reasons, because you'd damage each other, right?
Yeah.
Now
contact sport.
Yeah, now it's like, okay, then, yeah. So, yeah, our goalkeepers, when you say goalkeepers, we've only really seen 2 play, and that is Forster and Vicario. I mean, who knows what Austin can offer because we've not seen him play.
True. From the bit I saw of him in preseason, he didn't look too bad.
but we haven't seen him play. I mean, whether he gets a chance against Carabao or any of these
I
other
hope
Ferencvaros.
that game. I want to see a full squad.
Yeah, I don't think we will. Also, I think we're definitely going to see some rotation for that game, Jamie.
Yeah, because it's good to come back to Vicario. Like, I think if Vicario had Forster's build and height, I think he'd be crazy.
But then he wouldn't be as agile. He wouldn't be able to move around as freely and as quickly.
It's like Jose said, you just want to get someone to go nut. If they're in the way, it's like, this is my box. Get out of it, otherwise I'm going to do you in. That's what we need.
Do you guys remember Hugo accidentally punched a dude in the face one time and knocked him out cold? I can't remember who it was.
Accidental. You come out with the ball. If you ain't taking the ball, you take the player. End of story. There's no accidentals. If you don't get the ball, make sure you get the man. End of. If you know that the keeper's going to come out to do you, the other thing is you go up with your knee, like the goalkeepers go up for the ball and they lift their knee up as they go up with the ball. Yeah. Goalkeepers used to go up like that and they used to knee you in the back, and it hurts like hell if you're kneed in the back by a goalkeeper.
Oh yeah.
And what you end up doing is players then avoid contact or going near the goalkeeper, because if he ain't going to get chinned by the goalkeeper, he's going to get a knee in his spine, and he don't want that. So at the end of the day, just need someone to fucking grab the ball by the horns and go out and give him some.
Because I think what was it? Was it Fabian Barthez for Man United? He used to do that. He was the shortest keeper, but he would kick you if you tried to go any near him. He was a nutcase.
But the thing is, it warns people. People stay away from you. Do you know what I mean? Players on the pitch would stay away from you.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't say hey yet to Ben Kaufman out loud, at least. Hey Ben, nice to have you here, buddy.
Good afternoon, mate.
We got Spurs bench in the house. Johnny Bethnal Green, big up, buddy. Saw your video this morning. Yep, hope you're good, bud. Ben Kaufman says justice for Djed Spence. He did show last night that he's got something about him. I like the fact that he went out there. I even love the fact that he didn't really celebrate after the goal. He was just kind of like, all right, let's go, guys. Let's get back. Let's finish this off. I was happy with what I saw of him. Real quick, we'll just touch on Djed Spence. Were you guys happy with what you saw from Djed? Do you think that we'll see more of him now because of his performance yesterday?
Yeah, I think no, he did well. It's just a shame he's not in the Europa League squad. But yeah, the subs that came on are better than the rest of the 11, that's how bad it was. But no, I liked Djed. He got about, and he played more of a striker. He wasn't really at the back, was he? He's like, let's just get forward and try and get that goal. And he took the goal really well.
And just a great attitude. I mean, he was basically told by the manager, "Hey, don't want you, don't need you," but still he shows up. He trains hard, obviously. Whenever he gets his moment, he shined, and so I'm happy about him. Jose, do you think we'll see more Djed Spence going forward?
Djed Spence played left back, right-footed player. It's not his most comfortable side. Came on, had more bollocks, more grit about him than a lot of the players that played the game before him in the game. And let's be fair, Djed Spence was fourth best to that ball. That through ball, two defenders or the goalkeeper should have got there before Djed. And Djed's determination got him there ahead of two defenders and their goalkeeper. So
and he got cleaned out. He got cleaned out. They took him out after that too. So he was willing to put his body on the line.
When the ball was released, right, when it came off the toe of Kulu, right, to put him through, as soon as when they do for offsides, the moment the ball's released, yeah. If they had frozen it the moment the ball was released, you're saying if you were having a bet and you were gambling, the odds were that defender, and goalkeeper get there before the attacking player does. Yet he got to the ball first. So the guy came on and showed fucking determination, grit, and desire, and that's what you want. If you had that from all 10 outfield players week in, week out, we would not be having conversations like this now.
No.
Very true. Very true. Chris Peters, hello, sir. We got Chris Peters in the house, everybody, saying afternoon. After his cock up at the beginning of the game, Forster dominated his area. Yeah. I mean, more so than Vicario, for sure. Vicario just comes out and punches the ball, and I think he should catch it, punches it into dangerous areas. I don't know. That's one of the things that bothers me a bit about Vicario, is that I don't feel like he's commanding enough. But yeah.
The only thing irritates me about our keepers, or just the way we play I hate playing away from the back. Like pass it, you're getting the team come forward. They're going to break you down. And it's mistakes like that yesterday could have cost us. And it's just week in and week out. Sometimes just whack it upfield. I know we haven't got the height up there, but at least it's out of the danger area.
Exactly. And especially asking Forster to play out the back, I feel like is a recipe for disaster.
Just winds him up.
Yeah, let Forster do his thing. We all know Forster is a kind of a clear it out of the box, get it out of here kind of guy. But we were asking him to play a totally different way, and he did admirably. I got to give him to him. And then Destiny has a good point here. He says if Dragic didn't push that Coventry player out of the way, Forster takes him out and gets a red. Do you guys agree? Do you guys agree with that? That there was any danger of that happening?
Oh, he would have flattened him, I reckon.
Yeah. Does he get carded for that in that scenario?
Come out, come on, Jerry. Take the ball. If you don't take the ball, chin the player. Just do it because you're going to get defended 9 times out of 10. End of.
If you're going to get a red card, you might as well take him out a bit, won't you?
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, go out with a kung fu kick or something, or Muay Thai kick or something like that. If you really want the red card, but otherwise, just go out, win the ball. If you can't chin the player, end of.
No, like I said to my wife, if you're gonna get a speeding ticket, or like get done, you might as well just carry on. You might because you're gonna get your money's worth.
Good stuff. So real quick, I just wanted to throw this up. Ben saying that Ange threw Archie Gray under the bus. By the way, Ben, I'm not trying to like pick on you or pick out your comments because I'm trying to like start trouble. Just interesting points, and I'm just trying to get some more clarity on them. But Ben says Ange threw Archie Gray under the bus. I feel so sorry for the boy. I don't know exactly. Do you mean by playing him out of position? I'm not 100% sure. I mean, he was picked to go do the post match interview, which I think they were really asking hard hitting questions in that interview, and I thought he did well there. I thought he played pretty well during the match. I don't know. I don't know if I feel sorry for the guy. I mean, I think that he played well where he was asked to play. What do you guys make of this, Jamie? Do you think that he was thrown under the bus by Ange?
I think it's a bit of a harsh word. I reckon he should have played in defensive mid and put Djed on the right. I wouldn't say would. No, I'm not saying I disagree. I just don't think he should have played right back. I think he should have played more in midfield to control it a little bit more.
But the way that our right backs are asked to play is so similar to a midfielder that I think that I honestly think that might be where Archie Gray ends up. I think that he's got the tools. He played right back last season. We all know it was out of necessity, but he's also played midfield. And I think with those two things combined, I think it would make a good inverted fullback.
But to be fair, like yesterday, I don't think anyone knew where they were playing because it just looked all over the place. So
6s and 7s, right? That's the expression, right? Everybody was at 6s and 7s. I don't know what that means. I know what it means, but I don't know why that's the expression. But yeah, everyone did look like they were confused. Jose, would you agree with this, that he was thrown under the bus by Big Ange?
I would have preferred him to be, like I said, in my eyes, I would have preferred him to have played instead of Papsar in midfield, and I would have played Djed at right back, and I would play Gray instead of Papsar. When we were discussing the lineup before the start, even a doggy, I was like, I'd ums and ahs about whether a doggy should have started. Even though
he needed minutes. He needed minutes, I think, and to get game sharpness is why I think he played. But I could agree. I would have seen the merit in not playing him too.
Yeah. So to me, I would have preferred to see Gray playing midfield. Yeah, he was thrown in the deep end because he was thrown in with 3 other players that he's not playing with week in, week out because he hasn't been selected and hasn't played. So you can say there's a bit of, but when are you going to play him? At the end of the day, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, because at the end of the day, they're not, these youngsters that we've bought have not been getting game time. And, at the end of the day, we're going to need everyone this season because our squad is not the biggest. We're going to need everyone this season. And as soon as you pitch them in, that's minutes in their legs. And we have to continue getting minutes into all our players' legs. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Especially with the injuries we got yesterday. You were saying that you wanted to see some Mikey Moore. I think with the injuries to the wingers that we had yesterday,
discuss that, mate, because I've got a lot to say about that as well.
Good deal. Ryan G is pointing out that in the predictions league, it was Alan that got 11 points.
Yeah, Alan, it was Alan and your mum that got the 11.
Big up Alan. Haven't seen Alan for a while. I need to give him a call today. Hopefully he's
Joint
doing well.
champions.
My mom will be super happy to hear that. She's always like, "How did I do? How did I do?"
Does she not know how she did yet?
No, I haven't told her. She's on a business trip for work, so I haven't really talked to her much in the last day or two. But she's flying home today, so.
Oh, she in the UK? Where is she? US. Still?
She's in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Philly.
Yeah, exactly. She's a big shot now. Doing stuff. She works for. If anyone that doesn't know, my mom works for the public broadcasting, the PBS is what it's called here, public broadcasting stations, and they do lots of like educational stuff and yeah. But anyway,
a bit like the BBC in England.
Exactly, a lot like it. Yeah, man.
A really heralded bunch here in England.
Hey, PBS has at least got some. They've got some clout. Their PBS is pretty cool.
The BBC have got a lot of everything as well. Don't worry.
Yeah, that all goes back a long time. Stuff with the BBC.
I know. Sorry, carry on.
Good stuff. Ryan saying he's loving the predictions league while he's near the top too. I like that. And then look at Evil Din again. Big up, dude. Thanks for your contributions in the chat. I love it. We'll make sure we get as many comments up as possible. But he says tough times for Ange. I reckon Ange has a month to sort things out and get results. West Ham could be his last. I hope he actually delivers though.
You've seen crazier things. So
we have.
But I think
positive.
But like I was saying, what you're going to keep from the top? Are they going to keep repeating this again, a cycle again and again? You cannot continue to repeat this cycle while you've got pound note people in your board. You need to get football people on that board, because otherwise this is going to be a cycle that we're going to go through, and it doesn't matter who you fucking bring in. It will continue to happen all the time. It's just a cycle, and you can only break that cycle by sticking by someone. Now, whether you like him or not, like you said earlier, Jamie, a lot of the fans, and there's quite a few of fans that didn't want him as the appointment when he first came in. And from then on, they have not sat on the fence at all. They have been completely against him, win, lose, or draw. And as I said, you've got pockets of the fan base that are manager out, pockets of the fan base of the board out. You've got pockets of the fan base that want players out. You know, at the end of the day, something's going to have to give. Just look what other teams that become successful have had their backs against the walls and worse positions than what we're in, right?
Yeah.
And they've come out the other end because they backed and they stuck with what they got. They didn't rinse and repeat the process. But the fans are asking for something. Not all the fans. Some fans are asking for that to happen. Where the fuck does it get us? Where does it get us? If you can ask to tell me where it gets us. Who are we going to bring in next? Who's going to be the next manager? What's the next manager going to do? Are they going to survive, or are they going to fare any better? Because if supposedly the non-footballing people at the club are not going to help whoever comes in out, so you're going to get the same thing over and over again. What is the argument for getting rid of this manager? I don't understand it. I don't understand why people want to go and get rid of the manager and just get another cycle going again.
It's also becoming, I think, I hate this term because I stole it from somebody and I wouldn't have ever said it before, but it's kind of become like a poison chalice. I don't think people are going to want to come to Spurs. Managers are going to know, hey, you're not going to, you might not get the players you want. And then, if you don't deliver with the players you got, you're done, you're out. And I guess they might still come for the payday and to get paid out for the rest of their contract, money talks. But I don't think it's, I don't think it's a super desirable destination at the moment, especially if we fire Ange this soon into his tenure. So yeah, and I think last night's win definitely will help Ange. I think that we last season were known as a team that got late goals. We frequently would have conceded first last season, and then we came back to win a lot of those matches. This season, it hasn't gone our way. We haven't been finishing our chances, but I honestly think last night will be something that we can build off of. Wasn't speeding ticket, it's a parking ticket. Love it. Love it.
That's my wife. She's watching from work.
Monica, hey, nice to see you. Okay, well, that's better than a speeding ticket. Okay, when you said that comment about a speeding ticket, I was like, you can't run from that, buddy. They're gonna come get you. You're gonna go to jail.
She better have subscribed, and she hasn't changed her name yet, which is concerning. We're going to have a conversation when we get back.
Oh, Monica, you're in trouble. But no, hey, parking ticket's not as bad as a speeding ticket. You were all good. And then so yeah, I already forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, last night, the win. I do think that it'll help push the team forward. I know a lot of people talk about the performance, how bad it was, and the fact that Ange said, hey, hopefully the players can take something from this and kick on. I know that a lot of people weren't exactly happy with that, but Jamie, Jose, both you guys, do you think that the win last night will propel us forward? Will show the boys that it is possible to do it, to not give up, that we can actually scrape something out of these matches, even if we don't have tons of chances? I don't know. I take a lot of positives from it. I really do. I know that the match itself was very ugly, very, very ugly.
We were
Sometimes you got to win ugly, though, haven't you?
We were absolutely shit yesterday. Piss poor. All the words and all the adjectives you want to use is what we were yesterday. We were bailed out by two players who have been match maligned by fans, bailed us out of the game. And we did get bailed out. But what I say to people and for myself is, do you know what? I dust myself down and I take the victory. We're in the hat for the next round. And I'm happy with that because I remember where I was last year when we went out of Fulham. I remember where I was the year before when we went out 2-0 to Forest.
Yeah.
I remember going out in the first hurdle of this cup, the Carabao Cup, first hurdle. The last few seasons we've gone out. Yeah, we were shit and we were poor. And it's probably one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a Tottenham Hotspur team, to be brutally honest. But we got through to the next round. We won. Now, the first 4 games of the season, and I ain't gonna do the first 4 games of the season, you got all these stats that say that we're world dominators in everything that we do, but we haven't been picking up them W's. And that's what we need. We need to pick up W's. Get rid of the L's and go for your W's. And yesterday we were dog shit and we won the game. And I, for one, I'm so happy that we're through to the next round. I didn't want to wake up this morning and feel like I felt last year after Fulham and after Forest. We're through to the next round. Dust ourselves down. I want home ties. All I want home ties in these cup competitions. Keep drawing us out of the hat, bloody at home, and let's see where it takes us. We need a trophy at this club. We need a trophy above everything. I don't care about anything other than we need to get a trophy. And if it's the Carabao Cup, then so be it. I just want a trophy.
Something we can build off of. Exactly.
Just want a trophy. So at the end of the day, we're in the next round. I want home ties from now on in. I don't care who it is, as long as we get the home tie. I don't care who we play, but I want a trophy. And this is an opportunity we have of getting a trophy. Although I will say that this year, the teams that have played in the Carabao Cup, I've given it more respect than in previous seasons. I've seen teams going far stronger than what they have done in the past. So let's see what happens in the FA Cup as well. I wonder whether all the teams in the or will we be really deep into the season by then, and people will start resting players again come the third round of the FA Cup. But so far, from what I've seen in the Carabao, teams have gone in a bit stronger than usual. But like I said, I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to mask. It was shit. It was absolute crap performance. And like I said, it's one of the worst performances I've ever seen Tottenham put out on a pitch. But we got the win. And to me, I'm walking away. I woke up happy this morning because we got the win. I've put aside the shit dross that I watched. We got the win. And that's what I'm happy about.
Boom, bam, absolutely. God, can you, as bad as things are in the WhatsApp groups and all the and everything like that, consider how bad it would be had we lost that match. I mean,
I think it's bad in WhatsApp groups. I wouldn't know because I don't comment in them.
That's the way to do it. I get baited into getting real angry and saying stupid shit in WhatsApp groups. I'm an easily baitable man. So yeah,
like I said earlier, and I'll repeat it again for everyone. Everyone has an opinion, and everyone's entitled to that opinion. If you're not happy with that opinion, right, and you don't want to challenge that opinion, then step away from the opinion. Don't get involved, because if you don't get involved, you don't get drawn in. At the end of the day, like I said, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. whether it's that you're a Levy in, Levy out, and in, and out. Johnson's shit, Johnson's brilliant. Werner's shit, Werner's brilliant. Anything you've got, anything you've actually got, forget about. Just your gut
Yeah,
tells you where you stand and what you feel, right? And your gut is the most often thing that's going to be right about anything you're doing in life. Trust your gut.
exactly.
Trust your
And,
gut. Don't get involved with the rest of it. Just trust your gut.
and I go with that as well. And I think that goes for everybody. I think that everybody should not try to change anybody else's mind. You're not going to, for one. Jose, you for some reason have the ability to change my mind. Maybe I'm just like a kind of a fragile guy up here. But normally you're not going to change people's minds.
But you don't realize Jose's a Jedi Master, so he could do anything he wants to you.
These are not the droids who are looking for. Exactly. But
this is not the team we're looking for.
No, yeah, but so I saw a name in here. Connor Lynch, big up Connor. He says only channel that has some sort of positivity. Big up Connor. You'll find Jose below me on his channel has positivity as well. LTL Cockerel. I just had the link up. I'll get it back up in just a second for you. But yes, make sure, Connor, that you are subbed over to LTL Cockerel as well if you're looking for some positivity in your life. AJ's bigging you up, Jose.
Oh, hi AJ. How are you, mate? I hope you're well.
AJ is good. He's just sleepy. He told us he hasn't slept since for like over 24 hours, I think. AJ's got insomnia like the rest of us.
He needs to get himself some kit.
He does.
He's been awake since the last time we won a trophy, so I'm sure he's tired.
Holy shit. Stop it. AJ and Kip. That's like my other favorite term too. Yeah. Get some Kip, buddy.
It's brilliant if you take all these Englishisms to America, like because you've got a lot of English that use Americanisms. So you know, at the end of the day,
saying it with my hilarious Midwestern accent too. Get yourself some Kip, buddy. You need some Kip. I love how awkward it sounds.
It doesn't look right coming from you. It's just so weird.
Yeah, no. Maybe you need some Kip too, Jamie. I don't know.
I'm actually shattered. I keep yawning. I'm actually shattered.
I got about 7 hours Kip last night and feeling good. That's good for me. But Ben is back, and we're talking about Archie Gray again, I believe here. He says either play him as a right back or center midfield, but to play a guy that's never played there before in a must-win game in a makeshift defense, how's he supposed to develop? Sometimes I think you got to throw players into the deep end, and he played some important matches for Leeds last year. They were in tough spots. They played in the same league as Coventry came from. I don't know. I don't think it was too much to ask to throw him in there. I know that we did kind of ask a lot of him, but I think he performed admirably. I was pretty happy with Gray's performance. What do you guys think about Gray's performance last night? I guess what would you rate him out of 10? I'd give him at least a solid 6 or 7. 6 for me.
I don't know. I don't think anyone was a 6 apart from the guys that came on.
Not even a 6. Not even a 6.
I like it. He's really good with his feet. Like with the one.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
For having nothing around him, I thought Bentancur did all right because he had nothing around him, and I thought Bergvall did all right. You know, you're asking people to come in. They've had next to no minutes. You're asking them to come in. I thought Bergvall won the ball a fair few times, and he looks really elegant on the ball and that. But time will tell. You know, at the end of the day, with these players, time will tell. With your Bergvalls, your Grays, it's going to be time that tells. So.
Absolutely. But you're right about Bergvall. He didn't look out of place. He didn't look like a kid playing against grown men. He looked like he was on their level, and I like.
And the thing is, sometimes when you're playing against teams from the lower leagues, you get even less time on the ball than what you do. Because in the Premiership, people respect you. You get a lot of respect.
Too much respect in the Premier League. Yeah,
a lot of respect in the Premier League. But when you're playing teams from the Championship League 1 and 2,
so, buddy, David says
respect goes out. Sorry, respect goes out of the window, and when respect goes out of the window, it becomes a harder game for you. So, you know, yes, they got thrown in yesterday against Coventry, and that weren't an easy game for them because players don't stand off you. Players are at you. You know, they're crunching you. They're at you all the time. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's a harder game that they got bled into, and hopefully, they don't have any demons from this game. And they go on. What I'd like to think is that they've got home last night, right? Gone to bed, woken up this morning saying, "I want to play first team football again. I don't want to sit on the bench. I want to play first team football again." That's the attitude that you want them to have, and that's what I'm hoping that they woke up this morning feeling. Some of these players that have not been playing, I'm hoping they're saying, I want to be playing first team. I want to be playing first team.
They have to be. I
But
mean, who would?
do you think that Spurs kind of respected Coventry too much? Like they thought they were going to win it anyway, regardless. That's why there was no energy.
But if you do that against teams outside of the Premiership, you're on a loser, aren't you?
Yeah, no,
Because
but that's
as I
what I
said-
thought
as I
yesterday.
said-
I thought yesterday there was no energy because I was
Yeah,
saying
you don't get the respect. You don't get the respect that you do in the Premiership, where people stand off you and that, and give you that yard, the extra yard. You don't get that in the Championship. Don't get it in the First Division or the Second Division. You don't get that against anybody at all. So the gaps between teams. I mean, there was major gaps between the gaps between teams, and that has changed. Football has changed. Football has changed in the last 10, 15, 20 years. And you don't get these massive gaps where you turn up to a Championship team and tonk them 4-0 and 5-0. This is all gone. This is a thing of the past. This is all gone. Do you know what I mean? So
Definitely, and I think players might get more time on the ball in the Premier League as opposed to the Championship. I don't know. I don't know if I'm making that up. If I'm just saying things. You were saying though, Jose, that players are right up on you, and I thought. I mean, that's what I saw as well. They pressed well. They closed down, and we didn't have a lot of time on the ball. We didn't have a lot of time to kind of plan our next move. It all looks pretty frantic, frenetic. But I think that is, I think that's also part of the fact, because we had all these players that hadn't played before together. But yeah, we didn't look cohesive, and we didn't look like we had enough time on the ball. I swear it looked like in the Premier League games we've played, we've had more time on the ball than we did yesterday, individually as players. But Inna Hype's in the house. Big up Inna Hype. It's a Celtic one.
I was going to say something. It's not Spurs related. I just saw something online. It's a lot of reports are coming out now that Man City could be expelled from all competitions if they're found guilty.
Is that ever gonna happen though? I don't know. I don't think that's.
A lot of reports are doing it now. Like Telegraph and Daily Mail, they're more reliable than the Sun.
right, but let me just tell you that the hearing that started on Monday, so it's only it's the 4th day of the hearing, right? It's behind closed doors. It's behind closed doors. Nobody can get in. The only way that you're going to find anything out is when the panel decide if there are any sanctions to be had, because they've got to write a report out and publish it. That's when you'll find out. So if all people are saying you're going to get expelled, blah, 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 then there's no way that they would know that right now, unless they're just saying if they're found guilty, they might get expelled. But otherwise, there's nothing coming out. No one's getting any news about what's happening in these first 4 days, and no one will get any news until they print out the official outcome of it and the sanctions, if any.
Do you think we'll hear something by the end of this year or not?
No.
No?
Because if they're saying it's going to be a 10 week thing, then you've got to go away and do your write up and that. It won't be till next year.
Shit.
Interesting.
Well,
and then after that, you can provide, if you're going to issue a sanction, you can do. Once you've done that sanction, then if Manchester City, even if it goes against Man City, then Man City are definitely appealing it. And then the process will then continue, because you can't sanction someone if they're then in appeal. So let's say, for instance, they say we're expelling you from X, Y, and Z, right? You cannot expel them if they're then in the process of appealing. You've got to wait for that appeal outcome to come out, and then even then there'll be probably a further appeal that they can do as well. so this thing,
it'll drag.
It's a drag. It's a drag big time. It's a drag.
I really hope that we see some kind of justice, though, especially after what happened to Everton. If it's going to be able to happen to the small teams, I think the big teams should get punished the same way. But
because if it's to do with money, they're just going to pay that off. It's going to be quite easy. If it's to do with something else,
points deductions. Even I've heard all kinds of crazy things that they'd be dropped down to to the Championship. I've heard all kinds of stuff. I'm not sure exactly what the actual potential punishments are, but yeah, I've heard a lot. But you're right. If it's just a monetary thing, it doesn't matter. They've got all the cash in the world. So yeah, we will have to wait and see. David Clark, though, big DC from Leicester, who was defending Fraser Forster in the show yesterday. Did he perform as well as he thought he would, David? I just, not to be rude at all, just wondering. But he said, I've watched Spurs since 1960, and that performance is in the top 10 of all-time woeful performances for a group of players who, quite frankly, didn't have a clue. You know what I like best about David is he says it like it is. He does not beat around the bush. So big up, David. Glad you're here, man. Hope you're holding it down in Leicester. And again, I'll keep saying it for a while. Happy belated birthday, buddy. But yeah, what do you guys? I mean, is it as bad as David's saying it was?
Well, the game.
It was awful. Come on, it was absolutely. Oh,
I was working while it was on, but I had it on I have a TV right here.
So did you watch it while you were working with your eyes closed or something?
No, but I had to look at my computer fairly often.
Okay.
But I did try really hard to.
Every time you glanced over it, were we not just shit?
No, we were shit. We were absolutely shit.
So stop asking us stupid questions then.
The only positives, the two positives came out of that is that we won, and I really like that kit. So that was literally it.
Positives for me is two malign players scored the goals.
Yeah.
Yes.
We won through to the next round, and I'm gonna have to give it to Jamie. The kit did look kind of all right.
Mine's on its way. It should be with me soon. So
oh hell yeah. And we can show some people where they can find that kit. But before we get there, Brennan and his whole not clapping the fans, that whole debacle, everybody's pissed off, super mad. Man, if you get on Twitter, shitter as you call it, Jose, I know that you're probably not on there too much, but I spend some time there when I want to get really mad for no reason. I don't know why I do it to myself, but yeah,
you bring it on yourself, Colin. You really do, because you say you get baited and stuff like that, and you still go and do it.
I know.
That's the naughty school kid that don't want to learn when he's being told. So
I think I kind of like being mad. I don't know. I think it's an easy emotion. It's an easy emotion.
I'm going to give up trying to educate you, mate.
No.
I talk to my partner about football, even though she doesn't care about it. This is one way to vent, because if we do it on Twitter, I get too angry. And if we do it in group chat, I get kicked out. So
I tried to talk to Beth about it last night, but she's got a lot of stuff going on with school, and she basically told me to fuck off. She was like, "Don't care."
Your women, the women in your life, both your lives, are fucking absolutely 135 million% on spot on in what they're saying to you. Fuck off. Get a life. Get a life, boys. Grow up.
If I ever talk to her about YouTube drama, she's just like, "Get away from me. You're stupid. Don't want to hear about it." How old are you again? Those are the types of responses.
It doesn't matter how old I am. Just listen to me.
Right. God, I'm mad. These people said this. But no. So Brennan, Sonny tried to yank him over to clap the away fans, and he did reluctantly, not for very long. But you would have thought that he, I don't know, flipped everybody off, gave him the bird. I don't think that what he did was that big of a deal, especially considering how he's been treated by fans. He's been getting booed at games. That he's been, I don't know. I'd like to know what everyone in the chat feels like about that too. I mean,
So in the olden days when football was proper, right, and we didn't have all these fucking conglomerates that you've got now, right?
The good old days, right?
The good fucking the proper days when you could come out and chin the striker. If you was a centre back, you'd be striping the centre forward. You'd be striping him with your studs down his calves to let him know that you're there. Not even this is off the ball. You'd be whacking people off the ball because we didn't have VAR when football was proper, right?
Was it Billy Bremner? Or was it Leeds? He'd knock everyone out, wouldn't he?
At the end of the day, this is the way that we played football back in the day. But what you had is the crowd would sing, and they'd sing, they'd make their feelings known, singing in throughout the game, good or bad or indifferent. But at the end of the day, after that happened, as a footballer, you left, because you're a human being at the end of the day as well. You left the stadium or whatever, and if your choice was to go and have a tipple with the fans in the local boozer, you would do that. If you wanted to go have a fag in the local pub with your mate, you'd go and do that. You'd do whatever you did, right, to get away from it. Now, I think a lot of people bring it on themselves, because now we've got social media that's been brought into the fucking mix. Now, if you choose to have an account and you choose to be known out to the public, then you're good or bad, you're gonna get shit from somebody. So you might get shit from the away supporters because they're trying to put you off your game. You get, things will happen. You'll be DM stuff and stuff like that. All you got to do is the easy thing is if you don't want none of that shit, step away from it. Become a normal,
which he has. Yeah.
a normal human being. Step away from it. But you got too many people nowadays that their fucking Instagram is far more important than when they go on the training pitch, and their fucking TikTok's more important to them than fucking them having to go to a children's hospital for a charity day event on
Or
behalf
practicing
of a
with their weak foot or
anything you would do in the olden days. Having all this shit social stuff has actually ruined a lot of society. And at the end of the day, he was always going to get stick. Everyone gets stick, whether they like it or not. It's if you make yourself known, you're going to get stick, one way or another. Just step away from it all. Step away from it all, because if you're not missing nothing. Honestly, you really ain't missing nothing, and your game will probably improve because you don't have to put up with shit that's being said about you, whether it be by your own fans or other people. Just step away from it all.
Yeah, absolutely. But do you think that he was wrong, I guess, in not wanting to go and clap the away fans?
Yeah, I would have done the same thing. I'm like, no, fuck you, like you've been giving me so much shit. Like, why should I go and clap to you? But you got to think it's not all of the fans. It's majority of them, isn't it? But then it's like I said, we can give them stick. We're entitled to that because we pay our money. But when it gets personal, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah,
you're always going to say, "Oh, you're paying shit. You're shit." That's fine. I'm happy to do that. But when you get "I'll go kill yourself" or do some stupid shit like that, that's when it gets personal. I don't like. Pisses me off.
And he was absolutely you could tell he looked like this. He looked broken. He didn't celebrate after the goal. I think I might have saw him crack a bit of a smile after he scored, maybe. But that Evil Din says he looked broken. He's ashamed of our fans. There's criticism and there's abuse. Lad is doing his best. And Ange came out and defended him in a recent press conference and said, he's doing all the right things. He's asking all the right questions. He's trying to improve. He's asking me what he can do better. Mm-hmm. I think that's great. And I think that, if we play and I think it was Ben who said earlier, shocking, if you play him in behind and give him a ball to run onto, look what he does. He can do a good job. And I think that we need to play to the strengths of our players. And if we continue to do that, we might see the best yet of Brennan Johnson. I mean, he's still just young. He's only young too. I think that's a Britishism I've stolen too. He's only young, but he's not as young as Odebert, but he's what, 22, 23. I don't know. I just think that it's a little early to write him off.
It was good to see his dad in the crowd as well, just celebrating. It was nice to see that.
Sorry?
It was good to see Johnson's dad in the crowd as well. Like,
nice.
Someone zoomed in straight on him.
See, I missed that part too, but that's awesome. Did his dad look happy?
Oh yeah, he was jumping up and down. Yeah, he was with the fans. Yeah.
Hells yeah, that's awesome. Good deal. So there's some comments in here. I'm trying to skip some of them. David says he's old enough to remember what it was like to head the laces of them leather footballs. You didn't need a tattoo. The imprint of the laces would be imprinted onto your head. Yeah. That's I've heard those leather balls. They used to be quite heavy, get kind of waterlogged even. Big up, David. Big up. And then we also, I don't know if I said hey to Kuva yet, everybody. Kuva Bear is in the house. Kuva 99. Big up to Kuva.
Hi, Kuva.
He says he was earlier saying you're spot on. If he doesn't enjoy the debate, then he switches it off and plays some games or watches a movie. That's the way to do it.
Kuva, yesterday, right, I watched a game, right, and usually after I do a show, Colin, you know this anyway. Usually after I do a show, that's it. I switch off completely. I didn't spend time with family. I don't bother anything else. Yesterday, I did my show, finished my show, went and watched the game. Totally was completely away from everything.
WhatsApp,
absolutely everything. Yeah, I woke up this morning to have something like 600 odd unread messages, and do you know what I did? I went to each group and I just tapped each group. Didn't read any of the messages. I just tapped each group, so my thing went back down to 0 again. And that's it. Because at the end of the day, I know the way that I see the football match. I know the way that I feel. I don't have to see how others are going to blow up, because it's obvious what was going to happen yesterday. It's so obvious, and I'd rather spend time like you do, Kuva. Spend time playing games with my kids. We get on the switches, on the PS, and all that, and we end up playing games with each other. And I much prefer that than having to go through my phone and trawl one message after another and then think to myself, do I need to respond to that? Shall I get involved? Shall I mediate? Shall I? At the end of the day, you're all grown men and women. Fucking get on with it. Well,
You
I think
can imagine you were there for ages as well, wouldn't you? The amount of stuff that comes through, you're like, this is the day on its own.
Yeah,
exactly. Reading all those messages for sure. Let's just say I don't think anybody's watching. I probably didn't get as much work done as I could have yesterday because I was responding to a lot of messages.
Watching Tottenham with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
And then has to ask us a question of what did you think of the performance?
I was squinting. I'll put it that way. I have one all the way closed, but
Colin, can you ask us again? What was the performance like?
What was the performance like yesterday, guys? What do you think?
I don't know. From what I saw, right?
But okay, so when the ball came, that the ball was played through to Brennan from why can't I think Bentancur? When Bentancur played Brennan through, what did you guys think when he was 1-on-1 with the keeper? I'll go to you first, Jose. Did you think that was going in? Did you think he was going to score?
He took that goal so well. Listen, I'll say it again. I'm so happy for the two boys that scored our goals yesterday because they've been much maligned by different parts of the fan base.
Yeah.
And the goals, as I said already, for Djed, if you freeze the frame when Kulu releases the ball from his foot and you look at the position of Djed, the two defenders and the goalkeeper, he was fourth best. If you're an odds man, you're putting odds on it, he's fourth to get to that ball. Grit and determination made him get there in front of the other three. He get his goal. I'm really happy for him. Johnson picked up that ball and he ran in, and as cool as you like, he clipped that ball over that goalkeeper straight into the corner. So straight into the fold, as I call it. It's where the fold of the goal is. He put it straight into the fold. And at the end of the day, it was such a good goal that he took. But no one's going to discuss that. No one's going to say nothing. There's going to be a lot of negativity again on Johnson today. No one's going to talk about his finish. No one's going to talk about the shit that he's gone through. At the end of the day,
Yeah, they're just going to say, well, it's only Coventry. So
I hate that.
Yeah,
you can't win for losing. You can't. No,
if he scored a hat trick, it's only Coventry. If he had a bad performance, they remember the bad performance.
Why the fuck didn't he score against Coventry? Pardon my language. Sorry about that. That was my Americanness coming through.
When the ball played through, I thought it was offside at first because I didn't want to celebrate. But then
there's no VAR though, is there?
I know, but I thought it was offside because for some reason.
I know what you're saying, but in Carabao, Jamie, there's no VAR, so you don't have to worry about looking at that. Either the linesman sticks his flag up or he doesn't. There's no VAR.
No, I think we're so used to VAR now. You're like, you don't want to celebrate.
Right, you for a minute or two after a goal scored, you're like, was it? What are they going to call it back for? Who was there a foul in the build-up 3 passes ago? Yeah, absolutely. But Evil Dead has a good point here. On a positive note, at least soon, no one will remember the way we played. It'll just go down as a Spurs win, and we didn't concede from a set piece. Evil Dead, we haven't conceded from many set pieces lately. We have looked like we might a lot of times. But the one against Arsenal was, I think, the first one in like 10 or 11 matches. So that is a good thing. Maybe we're getting better at that. Maybe we're getting lucky. I'm not sure. And again, reasonable criticism is valid, but abuse is disgusting. And no fan of BJ, says Simply Ace, but he did not deserve that. Yeah, I want to be a fan of BJ. I want BJ to come good, and I think the whole fan base does. I don't think there's anybody in the fan base that if he started scoring or assisting every game, I think everyone would get behind him. I think they'd all forget all the things they said about him. We always say players don't pick their price tag. They're simply kind of
But that goes down to the same thing about the managers, don't they? If it's not a player they wanted, they're just going to be on his back the whole time. So there's a lot of fan base out there. I like
Dan, there was no VAR at the Carabao Cup games, or there wasn't at the Carabao Cup game yesterday with Tottenham. There's no VAR at all.
There's VAR in Europa League, isn't there?
You don't know because you haven't played in it yet, but I know that the VAR was definitely not at the ground, and I don't know whether VAR was in any other grounds, but it definitely wasn't in the game that we played yesterday.
And I think they to make it like
in the Premier League, it's normally if it's a home game, the Premier League game normally is.
Well, I don't know because when they scored their first goal, people are knowing whether their forward was offside, and people are saying, "Oh, that might be offside," but the linesman didn't put his flag up, and it went straight to the centre circle. So there's no VAR at all.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. And Quez is 100% right here. Big up Quez. Brennan's finish was cold. Didn't think twice about it. That's the confidence we need to see going forward. I think it was only a matter of time for him, and I hopefully this goal gets him in a position to where he wants to put himself in that position. He doesn't. I don't know. You shouldn't have to think in that scenario. You should have practiced this so many times that it is just second nature. And
Yeah.
it was a great finish.
I'll be as a blinder on Saturday, like proper.
I think he's going to start. I think he'll start Saturday.
He'll definitely start because he's definitely start because Alderbert's going to be out anyway.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, go on. We've now discussed the game. So are we going to discuss the ramifications?
Yes, absolutely. So we had two of our wingers come off injured. So that leaves us in a position where this system relies on the wingers. We need to have wingers for the system to work. We know Ange isn't going to change his system, so we're going to see some players now that we aren't exactly used to seeing, and one of those is going to be Mikey Moore, no doubt. Are you both excited to see more of Mikey? I know that the wing is not necessarily the position that he plays, if I'm not mistaken. He's more of a midfielder, but
No,
he's shown
he plays out on the left. He's right-footed, but plays out on the left for the under-21s. And what he does, he picks the ball up and he runs across he picks the ball up in the last third and he runs across the pitch. So he's running from left to right, and what he's doing at the same time is making things happen. So he'll either slide the ball into someone, or he'll go right to the other side and then play a ball through. So he makes things happen when he's on the ball. But for me, to have all the people, to have options, if you want, right? To have options. So basically, we normally got 3 that can start up front, but normally I've got 3 that can come off the bench. Well, we've lost 2 of those players now. So for me, the most obvious is going to be Son, Solanke, Johnson. They're the obvious ones. Now, if you don't want to use Kulu on the right, because Kulu we've seen is better served than in the middle, then you've got Mikey Moore that then comes in and has got to get more game time, and there's got to be an option for you to play left or right. We need a fit Richarlison. However long he's going to be with the club, we need a fit Richarlison to either be another option down the middle or on the left, right? And we also need to get Lancashire fit as well. So Lancashire becomes that third option.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Otherwise you're taking Kulu out of that option from the midfield. Yeah, so we need 2 fit players. We need Mikey Moore and Lancashire to try and get them as fit as possible or as soon as possible to become options for us. And Mikey Moore must now obviously become number 1 option for left or right off the bench, or off the bench, whether he starts left or right, he's got to be an option now.
Is he ready? Do you think he's ready?
Well, the only thing I can say is that there's 2 players that play at his level for England for the under-17s, and that's him and Namweri from Arsenal, who are meant to be the 2 golden stars. Although Mikey Moore's rated higher than him, but they're meant to be the 2 golden stars from that generation. Last weekend, Namweri came on for Arsenal with about the last 5-10 minutes of the game.
And how old? He's what, 17 years old, I believe?
Same age as Mikey Moore. They're both from the same England setup. And he got game time again then. I think he was Arsenal's youngest player ever to start at 15, come on the bench at 15 years of age.
Yeah,
so
that's crazy.
At the end of the day, if you've got Mikey Moore and we're bubbling him up and saying he's this, that, and the other, then you've got to give him the opportunity. And now it's needs must, because we've lost 2 bodies, which shows how small our squad is. Rightly or wrongly, our squad is thin. I did say that I felt that we could have done with another 2, maybe 3 players in a transfer. Would have made our squad bigger. But now you're going to have to give that chance to Mikey Moore. And for me, I know he's young, but I really want him to succeed, Mikey Moore. In Spain, we're fortunate enough to have your Yamin Lamals, your Nico Williams, your Pedris, your Gavis, your Baldes, Kubasi, the names just go on. We're so lucky to have these youngsters in Spain that now play for the national team, but were given a chance by their club side and they've gone on to flourish. Some have ended up getting injured because they've been maltreated, so they've been put into every single match and their bodies can't take it. But we've got a gem in Mikey Moore. We now need to use him and use him wisely because you're going to have to build him up. You're going to have to build him up. He's only 17. He's going to need to be built up, but we're going to need to use him wisely.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. I do think he'll get game time. Absolutely do. And yeah, I hope he can show that he's ready at this level. Jamie, are you excited to see some Mikey Moore? You excited for some Mikey Moore in your life? Because we're gonna get it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited, but I think I'm more excited about Lancashire because he's a player I've been watching more than Mikey Moore. So
yeah, I am more familiar with Lancashire as well. So yeah, I can't speak very intelligently.
Yeah, he 31 goals last season, held up the ball well. Because I was just checking how long he's going to be out for. It's still no date. So I'm not sure.
Lancashire? Is Lancashire still out then? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I was just checking now. It was like it's still no date for when.
And what about Richie? Is it said when Richie's back?
I think September. I think
Premier League injuries, because Premier League injuries normally gives it to you. Because at the end of the day, what you've got 3 forwards that you're going to start, right? Who comes off the bench for you? It's only Mikey Moore at the moment. If Richie's not fit.
And I feel like it was just the other day we were saying we have too many wingers. So someone suggested a 3-5-2, and I see it in the comments now too. Simply A says we'd be better in a 3-5-2, but I think we had, at least before their injuries, so many wingers that a 3-5-2 didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, but in a 3-5-2, you wouldn't have to play wingers, would you? Because in a 3-5-2, you'd probably use Radu as your third centre off, and then the 2 wing backs you'd use Porro and you would use a doggy, which, to be honest, it's their natural positions, because when at the clubs they previously played for, that's what they played, was wing back.
Yeah.
So Porro was wing back at Sporting, and a doggy was wing back at whoever he came from, Brescia or whatever he came from, whatever Italian club he came from. So at the end of the day, but we'll wait and see. We'll wait and
Richie,
see.
still no return date.
No return. And this is what I mean. Now if you're going to take Kulu and make Kulu one of the options, as well as Mikey Moore, it then means you restrict your options in midfield, basically.
Very true. And I think everyone will agree Kulu is more effective playing in the midfield, I think, than he is on the wing. But I don't think he's wasted on the wing. A lot of people will tell me that he's completely wasted on the wing. I don't buy that. I think that Kulu could still be effective on the wing.
In the midfield, because me and AJ, we agree, like, when he's in the centre, he kind of controls that because he's not the quickest, but he's strong. If he's on the wing, you know what he's going to do? He's going to run, go onto his left and cross the ball. That's what he does. Like, he needs to stay where he plays because he's so dangerous. So we need to kind of make the team around Kulu at the moment because he's going to be the centre park in midfield. I more prefer Kulu playing midfield than Matters at the moment.
Wow, Jose, are you of that mind? Do you think that would you rather have Kulu as the 10 than Madison, or do you think they play well together? I think they play pretty well together.
So when I said Kulu last year was the glue for the team, yeah, and I was getting fucking pelters last year for this. Well, he's been the glue for the team again this season, hasn't he, Kulu? Kulu's been the number 1 fix in the first 5 games of the season. And, and at the end of the day, people are saying we should get rid of him, we should sell him. But I'll tell you what, he's worth his weight in gold, Kulu, at the club. And I'd go as far as to say, make him fucking captain.
And look at this, Spurs bench, Johnny Vasco saying, we haven't got a captain. Just sort out the balls we have coming up the pitch when the pressure hits. We do need a captain. And
to me, at the end of the day, look, Sonny's a fantastic guy, right? But I was saying this to the Irish Hotspur. I had a chat with David earlier today, and I was saying to him, to me, Sonny smiles at everyone.
Yeah,
so
I get what
you could have scored a hat trick, right? And your captain is smiling at you, right? You could be having a shit game, and your captain's smiling at you. So 2 opposite ends of the extremes, I'm saying, and all your captain is doing is smiling at you. Now, is that going to give me the kick up the arse that I need? Someone just smiling at me? Or if I've just got a hat trick, right, and my captain comes to me and says, come on, you've got a 4th in you. Come on, you've got to help us get another goal and get yourself a goal. Someone's not playing well. come on, lad. All you got to do is go out to the left or go out to the right or push on. Don't worry about it. We're here beside you, blah, blah. Sonny doesn't do all that. Sonny just smiles at you. So whether you're playing badly or you've got a hat-trick, all you're going to get is a smile from Sonny. And someone like Decky's been made captain now of Sweden, right?
Yeah.
And
very good point.
Decky doesn't look like he hides when he wants to say something. He doesn't look like one of those that hides on the pitch when he wants to say something.
It's the red hair. It's the fire of the redhead.
And if we've got Maddison, and Maddison's too nicey, and we've got Romero and he's too indifferent, and then fucking hell, come on, give it to somebody. Son just does not have the characteristics to lead men, bring them up and running. He's got a great smile though.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Kulu as captain because he's got that persona, isn't he? Like, and he's like you said, Sweden. So I've just put it on the community page, Colin. Should Kulu be our captain? So if you guys want to head over to see, we'll see what your thoughts are. Because
absolutely,
I love Kulu. I love the song. I've got a T-shirt of Kulu. I think he's so vital now. Like if he's out, him and Van der Ven are basically the glue from back to midfield. So yeah.
Definitely. And I think having Son as captain has hamstrung us into playing him every single match when I don't think he should, or at least starting every match. Maybe he should play every match, come off the bench. But I think him starting every single match has sort of, I don't know, I think we've put ourselves in a position where we have to. You can't not start your captain. I also think that stripping him of the captaincy would be weird, and I don't know how that would go over. So I don't know. But I wanted to say hey to Mikel Zachariah. We haven't seen you for a while, boss.
Hi, Michelle. How are you, mate? I hope you're well.
Yeah. He says VDV for captain. I don't know if VDV's vocal enough, but I do think that a midfielder or a defender is the logical choice for a captain. Not a bad shout. Not a bad shout for Decky. Ben Kaufman says Decky's so much better in midfield. He has the technical ability and the ball carrying skills.
Agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
Absolutely.
Wholeheartedly, 150% agreed.
I compare him to Kane a lot, and I think I get kind of made fun of, but he has a similar way of the fact that he's not the fastest, but it's really hard to get the ball off of him. Kane could ride challenges like nobody's business, and I think Decky does kind of the same thing. He can ride those challenges, come out the other side with the ball, and I love Decky. Even on the wing, I love Decky. I know that he's kind of a one-trick pony, but there have been plenty of players like that. And he's got a couple of different things he does whenever he gets the ball. He sometimes drives to the byline and then tries to, play in and then play a nice cutback pass. I don't know. It seems like our build-up and our approach play has been different this season than it was last season. And I'm not sure if that's by design or if that's just the players not following instructions. But the build-up play has looked different this season. But you guys both agree Kulu in the center of the pitch and not on the wing.
I go as far as saying, center of the pitch, and I'd have him as my captain.
Wow. All right.
If he's not chosen captain, then at least he's got to be vice. Because everyone keeps saying, because I'm seeing some of the comments like Romero should be captain. I just don't think he should.
I don't think
if your captain leads from the front, he doesn't make a fuck up every game. That cost you 4 goals. Every goal we've conceded this year, bar last night. Can't blame him for last night because he wasn't playing. But
we can still blame him for last night.
No. The four goals that we've conceded in the league, every single one he's been at fault at. And at the end of the day, if your captain keeps making errors like that, does he lead from the front? Are you going to take notice of what your captain says when he keeps fucking up all the time? No.
But I was going to say, this is not a bad shout here. Where is it? Because this guy's got a lot of passion. Pedro Porro for captaincy.
I'm all about vibes. Let's give the captaincy to Porro. At least he will show some passion. Yeah.
Because every time he does a tackle, he screams and goes towards the
Daniel, I don't disagree with anything to do with Spain, my son. You should know that by now.
Big up, Daniel. We had Daniel on the other day. I love having Daniel on. He told me to get his number from you, by the way, Jose. So I'm going to need to do that because
is it not in the group, in the LTL group?
Maybe he is. I'll check. But yeah, Daniel, having him on the show was awesome.
To try and get people on, like I'm not sure, like there's guests we can get contacts and stuff, wasn't he? I think that was what he said. I'm not 100% sure. Hold on. 100% sure. Yeah. So where is it? Kulu looks the best shout at the moment. 100% agree.
Ben's comment underneath there. Look at that. If Decky worked on it, he could closer in skill set to Moussa Dembele.
What?
What would you say? Would you agree with that?
What about Moussa Dembele?
If
Ben's saying if
Decky
Decky worked on it, he could get a closer skill set to Moussa Dembele.
I actually agree, 100%.
They've got the same kind of build, haven't they?
And the thing is, he gets to see him. Ben's a season ticket holder, so Ben gets to see him.
Yeah.
Match in, match out. So he'll be able to tell, not what we watch on television most of the time, but he's able to see him at close quarters. And if he says that, then I'm going to go with it.
Jamie, do you think so? Do you think that's right? Do you think that he could be our Moussa Dembele, similar skill set? I don't know if he can get to that level. I don't think he gets that level.
There's only one Moussa Dembele. You can't replace that guy. He's glided for everyone, isn't he? But they've got the kind of same build and the way they kind of move the ball. But Dembele was like a ballerina. He just got for everyone.
Ballerina and a NFL player at the same time. Like you couldn't.
And it was a steal as well because I think we only paid like 11 million.
It goes hand in hand, don't it? Ballerina and NFL player.
A lot. Supposedly, a lot of those guys do take ballet to improve their like agility and balance and that type of stuff.
See the fridge doing ballet.
Maybe. Simply Ace saying Sonny needs to bring back the killer instinct of 2 years ago when he was a top scorer and give Romero the captaincy. I think it weighs heavy on his shoulders. That's a good point. He hasn't been nearly as, I don't want to say selfish, but I almost think that he's been too nice. I think that Sonny is too willing to make the pass whenever he should take a shot. I don't know, Jamie, Jose, do you think there's anything in that?
No, I feel like we need a captain a bit like Roy Keane, just does not.
There's nobody in the team like that.
No, yeah, that's what we need it. We need a killer in the team.
You don't have to be Roy Keane to be a captain, but you've got to be.
No, but the way he comes across, like Sonny just smiles all the time.
Yeah, that's it. So you've got to be a communicator. You need someone who's going to communicate and who will give it to you when you score a hat trick as well as when you're playing badly. That's what we need. That's what I'm saying. But all Sonny does is smile at you. So you could score a hat trick or you could be having a stinker and all you're getting is a smile from him.
Yeah, no, it's just not for me. I think he needs to be replaced as captaincy. But I think me and Colin agreed yesterday, didn't we? That it's probably time for Sonny to go.
I mean, yeah, at least not start matches. I think if he came off the bench at the 70th minute.
Sorry, you're about two and a bit years behind that gig.
I know you've been saying it forever.
Years ago, and I got murdered for it.
You did. Back then though, he was still producing. So I mean, I kind of get it, but now nothing.
But the successful teams move players on, right? It's a fact.
Yeah. They've got the data, they've got the analytics, they can see his game dropping off.
You recycle, you get the best price you possibly can and recycle and move on and recycle players for your team. Tottenham have just failed miserably at trying to do something like that for the last 10, 15 years or so. We haven't recycled and moved players on, and if we've done that, we then haven't bought players to be of an equivalent level of what we let go or better than what we let go. And we've suffered from that. And it doesn't matter who the manager is. We've suffered that for a number of years now. So,
but do you think the reason why we're not got rid of Sonny is because the amount of money he brings in?
Yeah, and what did I just say? What did I say earlier? I said at the end of the day, I think in the club, in boardroom level,
too many people
we need more football people that understand the ball rather than people in the boardroom that understand the pound note. I did say that. So they're all looking at the pound note. Yeah, they're all looking at the pound note of what's going to be bought in because Sonny's there. And I've got no reason to doubt that this new Korean youngster we've brought in.
We've been waiting to use that for so long.
Yeah, the new Korean youngster we brought in. I've got no reason that he is the new Sonny for us in the sense that he would be the crowd puller. Sonny moves on to new pastures. He will then take over the mantle. He will then still get that South Asian fan base still coming to the ground, and that it'll be just a different person. That's all. But I'm just hoping that the youngster can be 3/4 as good as what Sonny was in his pomp, and if he is 3/4 as good in his pomp, then we've got a decent player on our hands. Doesn't have to be 100% Sonny. 3/4 would be enough to make him a decent player.
Absolutely. It sucks. I haven't seen anything of the kid. I need to educate myself on him, to be fair, to see what he's got, to see what what level he could end up at. If anybody in the chat
he made Emerson Royal look bang average against in the preseason.
Isn't it interesting? Have you guys been watching the Champions League?
No,
yesterday. Okay. So yesterday, Real Betis in the La Liga won 2-1. Who scored for Real Betis?
I bet Gio had a blinder, didn't he?
2 goals, right? He got both.
He got both of the goals, right?
Of course he did.
PSG beat Girona 1-0, and they got an own goal in the 90th minute. PSG. Do you know who got the own goal?
Is it Gazzaniga play for them?
Gazzaniga. Have you not seen the goal yet that they scored?
I've not seen any of the Champions League stuff.
Mate, it's a tap. It's like a tap from their player. Diagonal tap that's gone right towards him. He's got down on the floor, right?
Yeah.
Down on the floor, and it's gone through his hands and through his legs.
Oh, it's like a Taibbi for Man United.
No, worse. I'm telling you, it's worse, right? So that's that one. Now, Celtic punished someone. They beat Slovan Bratislava 5-1 yesterday. Do you know who scored Slovan Bratislava's goal?
Oh, I saw that goal. I know who that was. I'll let Colin answer this one.
I don't know.
Kevin Wimmer.
Oh shit! Sonny's best friend. Yeah.
A player that we bought for 12 million, and after one season,
flogged him off to Stoke.
Flogged him for 18 million, made a £6 million pound on a player that was absolute dog poo for us. He had
about 10 good games for us, I will say.
Well, I'll tell you what, you must have been wearing the glasses you were wearing last night then, because he never had a good game for us at all. He was shocking. He was a shocking centre half. But it's just all these connections to Tottenham last night, and I just think to myself, am I really seeing all this? And then obviously the night before, Harry Kane only scored 4 goals in the 9-2 win in the Champions League.
Didn't he have 2 disallowed as well, didn't he?
Yeah, but 3 of the 4 goals were penalties.
Still, that's crazy. I should have put money on a Kane hat trick. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, he scored 53 goals in 50 games or something like that. It's ridiculous.
That Harry Kane guy, he's decent.
I've just seen a Gazzaniga on goal. It's so harsh.
It's mental, isn't it? It's absolutely awful. Oh. It's awful. Listen, it really is. I cannot fathom what had gone through his mind.
I'm watching it right now too.
Worst thing is when it goes under. Because I'm a keeper, and that's the most horrible thing to happen to you.
But I can't understand that it's gone through his hands and in between his legs at the same time.
Yeah, because you're supposed to put your leg like to block stuff that way.
So 54. I see Nuno Mendes with the ball.
Yeah, watch.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's so bad.
It is. It's just awful. It's awful beyond reproach. It's awful.
Was it, Judge? Do you like the new format of how it's done now, the Europa League and Champions League?
I don't know, because it's only one game in, and that's not even been fully played yet.
Yeah, it's weird. I looked at yesterday, the table.
Yeah, the
really
Europa. Well, the table, watching it on Sky today, they broke the table down into 3. So they're showing you the 8 that would qualify as of right.
Yeah.
Then they showed you the people that are 9th, 17th, 10th, 18th, and like that. So they would end off in the playoff. And the people that end up 25th to 32nd, who would be out of the competition. So they're showing you like the table in 3 different parts, and it's just there. It takes a lot of getting used to. That table will probably only start making real sense like by the time you've played the 5th or 6th game.
Yeah,
because you can go from one to the other. A couple of results send you either way, don't they? So.
Yeah, because I'm going to watch the game tonight because Atalanta versus Arsenal, so I'm going to be an Atalanta fan tonight.
Oh no, you're going to watch that? Ugh.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just something to have on. I watch every game that normally comes on, but because Spurs playing yesterday, I didn't watch anything.
If I'm not playing with the family, any games with the family, and I do end up watching any football, I might have to plump for the Monaco Barcelona game. I think.
Oh, that could be a fun one. That could be a fun one.
Just to see all the youngsters that Barcelona put out again.
I'm excited to see. I mean, I know that Monaco were once kind of a powerhouse in that league, and then their owner, he got a divorce, and his wife got like half of everything, and so he had to sell a bunch of players. I don't know. There was some drama there, but you guys remember that when Monaco was kind of
but
a
there's no
force?
money in France anymore. But Marseille used to be a force. Lyon
Yeah.
used to be a force. There's no money in the French league anymore. So
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the day, they have to do what they do. And I'll tell you what, the French league does well for the players it produces. It does well because it's not
Yeah,
that
because didn't they had Mbappe and Martial at one point, didn't they? At Monaco.
Martial, yes. No, I'm just kidding.
No, this Martial was quite good, but then he went to the Premier League.
Yeah, he was good at one point for sure. I wanted to go back to this. First of all, Mr. Zachariah, is there a call-in show? Not today. We've already been going for 2.5 hours. I'm sure everybody's kind of tired. We'll probably end this up soon, but we will do one very soon. I'm sure you're already subscribed, so thank you. Hit the notification bell and watch the community section. We will let you know when the next call-in show is. I would love to have you on, dude. Talk about your wonderful Man United. See how
who we play the next game after this one.
We might need to have you on for the pre-match show, man. That'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, Mike Walters says that Son isn't playing his normal position, that inverted winger. He's playing as a touchline winger, and that's why he's not getting goals.
That's right. He's been asked to play out wide, hug touchlines. That's what he's being asked to do.
And that's not his game.
Johnson, and it's not Johnson's either. Johnson's being asked to hug the touchline. So by the same token, Sonny and Johnson are doing exactly the same thing.
I mean, I wish Ange just wasn't so goddamn stubborn. I love him as a guy. Like, he seems like a really likable dude. And for a while, he had us playing some really exciting football. I just wish that he would tweak his system just a bit. But like Jose, you were telling me the other day, we had this conversation. I'm gonna speak for you. I hate doing that to people, but you were saying, did Pep Guardiola come in and change his system because of the players that he had available? No, he got new players, but he didn't ask the players that were there to do things they couldn't do. And I feel like that's the difference. I feel like Ange is asking players to do things.
He came in and told Joe Hart that you're a really good goalkeeper, but you're just not my goalkeeper and what we want to do. So he sold him and bought in the keeper that he's got. And then the very next transfer market, he realised that the fullbacks that he had were absolutely shocking. So then spent just over £100 million on Kyle Walker and Mendy. That didn't work out too well with the Mendy situation, but he bought two fullbacks in that solidified what he was trying to do at the time. Now he doesn't buy fullbacks. Now he buys centre backs because everyone has to be able to play across the line of the back or even invert into midfield. So everyone's a centre back. He doesn't have traditional left and right backs anymore because even Walker ends up playing centre back for them as well. Walker ends up playing as an inverted fullback. So these players have had to learn and adapt to the way that Pep wants them to play. But he never changed. He went out there and bought the players that would fit his system. But £100 million for two fullbacks, can you see Tottenham ever doing that?
Hell no.
I can't.
No, and people will say, they'll point to how much money has been spent for Ange. I think it's like 300 million is the number I keep hearing. And what have we got to show for it? And I don't know. I want to defend Ange, and I do, but I also see the gripes that people have with him. Ben here saying you need to tweak your style depending on the tools you have. And there's like this saying, a true artist doesn't blame his tools. So yeah, I mean, do you think a tweak of the style is needed, Jose? And do you think it'll happen?
Well, with us?
Yeah.
We need more players. We just need more players. We need more players. I thought that I said after transferring, I felt that we were thin. Forget about who we brought in. I just felt that we were 2 to 3 players thin in that squad. And unless we've got irons in the fire for the winter transfer window, we're going to be short. We've lost a couple of players now. We had a couple of players out already. Look how short we are now. I couldn't even tell you who's going to make the bench on Saturday. Because if you've got what Adrian put up earlier, he's saying that someone's got this injury, someone's got that injury, and he's missed out Werner on that list as well. But that's 5 players out already. Right?
I'm trying to find his comment. Yeah,
that's 5 players out already. I think it's Richarlison, Lancashire,
Odegaard, and
2 from yesterday, and then he's put Bissouma. Bissouma might be fit, we don't know. But if you add Werner to that list, that's 5 players. I don't think we had 25 to start off with in the squad. I think that we had under that already in the squad as it is. So, and in a squad game, on a match day, you can have 20 players, can't you? 9 substitutes. So I'm just thinking to myself, what are we going to do? Are we going to call anyone from the under 21s at this late stage to come and warm the bench up, or are we just going to put 2 goalkeepers in there? I don't know.
Hopefully option A, but I don't know either. Yeah, it's really hard to say. And I'll ask you the same question, Jamie. Do you think a formation change or a tweak to the formation and style is needed? And do you think we'll do it?
I think a formation change needs to, because I think when you had like the likes of Conte and Jose, I think even Poch, the formation will constantly change throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
With Ange, it's actually he just sticks to it and just goes with it, and it doesn't tweak it. If we're losing, he just put more people up.
Right.
So,
if plan A doesn't work, do plan A better. And I get that, and I
I
respect that.
Either.
Part of me respects that. Part of me respects somebody that believes enough in themselves and in their plan to back it 150%. But I also see that he could be digging his own grave. Sorry, 1 second here. Yeah, and guys, we are about to close up. I think we've been on for 2.5 hours. I got to work pretty soon. But Jamie, is there anything else that you would like to say that you haven't said yet?
Just let people know about our show that we've got coming up. Are we doing a watch along on Saturday or not?
Yeah, we should. I want to. Are you down?
Jose was going to say something.
Jose?
I'll talk to you after the stream.
Okay.
Word. Big up. Absolutely. But guys,
you can mention the guests that we've got coming. Just make sure.
Yeah. You go ahead and mention them. I'll pull up the images at the appropriate time.
So we've got Alex Dragerson coming on the 30th at 4 p.m. UK time.
That's going to be an awesome one. We can talk about, we actually got to see some of Radu play, so we actually have something to talk about. And like you said, we're going to talk about Alex himself, see what he's up to, his restaurant. He's a restaurateur, so that'll be kind of cool to talk to him about that. I think he might have been a footballer himself. We'll find out.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Never? Well, good.
I know what he did, but he wasn't a footballer. He was a sportsman in his own right. He played a different sport, and I think he represented his country as well.
Nice. Well, that'll be something cool to talk about. I'm glad that you told me that, though, so I don't seem like an idiot when he comes on.
We haven't done our checks yet, have we?
No, we need to.
Just give us a shout, and I'll let you know what you need to know.
You're a good man. You're a good man.
And then on the
following day,
1st of October, we've got.
Yeah, which is the following day. So Monday the 30th, you've got Dragerson, and on the 1st, which is the following day.
Oh shit!
You've got Monday and Tuesday. Monday at 4 p.m. and then 7 o'clock on Tuesday. You've got one after the other. I didn't
realise that.
When you guys were telling me the dates yesterday, I was like, "You've done well." Then you've given yourself 2 busy days.
We do. So who's on the next one, Jamie? Let them know.
Well, the next day, then we've got the hard man of football, captain, European trophy winner, 2 FA Cups for Spurs, shared the Community Shield. Yeah, Community Shield. We've got Graham Roberts at 7 p.m.
The man Graham. Yeah, that's going to be a cool, fun 2 days.
Make sure you get all your questions that you want to ask him. It's going to be live anyway.
We'll make I'm going to make a community post as soon as this ends, letting people comment in their questions, type in their questions that they'd like asked, and we'll make a list so that we don't look like dummies during that show.
Yeah, because we need to ask Jose all the questions because we don't know any at the moment.
Exactly. But we've got him. Graham Roberts.
We got him.
Yes, sir. So it's gonna be 2 fun days, and we're working on getting some more. And everybody. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, just to answer, Ryan G's asking a question in there. Tomorrow is the prediction show at 4 o'clock. So if you haven't subscribed to me, come and sub over to me here at Hotel Cockerel. Come and join in with the community in the groups that I've got. I do competitions free of charge to enter. Good fun, great fun had by all. And it keeps everyone entertained and everyone engaged with each other. So yeah, if you haven't done so already, support me on this channel. And tomorrow the prediction show will be at 4 p.m.
Boom. And Jose, we want to thank you for coming on the show today. Always good to have your point of view on things.
It's only because I'm off work. That's the only reason why I was able to come on. So,
Well, we
That's the only reason, is it?
and I feel better now because I'd be working at this time, wouldn't I?
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate it, though. It's nice to have another point of view.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. And then, should we hit the sponsor again? Should we hit him again?
Yeah. If you hit the sponsor, I'll let you do the talking.
All right, cool. You want to get the camera and get the product on there? We've got a sponsor in our show. It is
camera. Hold on.
It's Alloy Collectors. Boom. Perfect. Look at this. So Alloy Collectors, here's our website right there, uk.alloycollectors.com. You can buy one of these awesome metal kits. Actually, they're little model kits made of metal. You can either put them together yourself or get them pre-made, but they make an awesome little desk decoration. You put them on your desk, put them on a shelf, show your love for your team that way. If you got a football fan in your life, no matter what team they support, there's tons of teams to choose from. So definitely go to uk.alloycollectors.com. Use the code 2sides for 15% off. And it makes a great gift. Get one for yourself. Get one for your friend. Get one for for anybody.
You can put the player's name on the bag, or you can put your own name. And it's also mid-October is the brand new jersey as well.
Absolutely. And there's kind of a little video too of what the products look like. But they're really neat. And so everybody make sure that you get one of those. And everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you big time. And I'll leave you with what I always say: be good to yourself, be good to others, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day and succeeds in their endeavors.
Come on, you Spurs, in the big Ange I trust.
Yeah. Jamie, what you got?
Just win a trophy. That's what I'm saying. Come on, Ange.
Come on, Ange. Get that second season trophy. We need it. We need the W's.
There you go. Yeah.
Love it. And
3 points. Win.
Yes. I'm gonna play us out with this. We need to get Jose a card on here so he can be in it too. But we'll play you out with the intro because we don't have an outro. And here it goes, everybody. See you next time.